Of hey Emerald, yes, Jory, I would love for you to share if you'd like. Come on. So much unpacking when it comes to hey Diamond. I've been working, baby, working. So much unpacking when it comes to the things that have happened to us and the things that we have perceived, and how they have possibly inspired triggers within the identity and the growth arc. All right. So that's what we're looking at today in this live stream conversation. All right, Joey, I look forward to inviting you on. I'm gonna tap you in a second, and I encourage you to share your poem. But let me just continue to explain what's going on. So we had that Scorpio full moon. It's compounded by the Sagittarian moon, and now we're in this Capricorn moon. So we should, as a collective, finally have some ability to organize what we've gone through, and now it's time to truly release it. All right. So I hope that you can share some insight, share some space with people who have similar experiences as you, and hopefully share some love and some support for their voices and their stories as well. All right, Jory, are you ready? Are you ready, Jory? I'm gonna invite you on. All right, goddess. Look forward to hearing from you, whatever you'd like to share. So y'all be nice to our guest panelists. Hello, goddess. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
What would you like to share today?
How do I turn on the video?
I invited you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
I have this poem that I've said a lot of or spoken with. See, I was noisy about just highly misunderstood.
Can you hear me?
Yep. You said I wasn't always the bad guy. Always misunderstood. We hear you.
Hey, there was a bad child. Just highly misunderstood. I wasn't born bad. I was drawn this way.
Feeling
So I'm
like a
like a
rabbit.
rabbit
You
with
feel it?
feelings.
Hold on.
Say
One
one
second.
second.
All right. No worries.
I woke up early. So I began my courage to do stuff today.
See, I wasn't always a bad child. Just highly misunderstood. I wasn't born bad. I was drawn this way. Feeling like Jessica, just a rabbit in a hat. Always been a black sheep in a world full of blind mice, feeling invisible. While I'm roaming, they lined up for the cheese like lab rats, subdued to the situational design, causing the wavelengths to decline. Manipulation is the new fictional death to these everyday lynchings. I gotta keep my head on a swivel. You want a hazmat, highly contagious? They trying to keep our people down. Wake up. We destined for greatness. This is a makeshift situation. We gotta shift the situation and make it an obligation to reclaim our power as kings, a power as queens. See, to have my cake and eat it too. I'm truly divine, unlocking my power and making it mine, yeah, baby. I'm one of a kind. I'm sitting and I'm smoking my weed. I'm contemplating if I'm where I should be. Slowly opening up, starting to see that third version of me. Royalty in the making. Queen to be, nah, scratch that. am she, royalty, sitting pretty, frequency well above average. Let you into my mind, where I was calculating the time, when I was blind, breaking down various elements, asking how and why, reaching a conclusion of my analysis. While painting a picture stimulating your mind, I'm waiting for ego to die so I can fly high, free as a bird. In every belief, there is a lie, subjected to the crime, to separate all people, while we willfully divide, losing touch of the divine. Just hope you'd understand. All in the while, still feeling so misunderstood.
That was amazing, Jessica.
Thank you,
Thank you,
thank you.
thank you.
That was so good. What do y'all think in the
Wait,
comments?
you just
You
called
just
me
called me
Jessica?
Jessica?
I did. Good job. Good job. Good job. What do you believe? What do you mean by the third person is here or the third me?
The
The
third
third
version of
version of
me?
me?
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
there's
there's
me,
me,
Jordy,
Jordy,
then
and
there's
there's
Jessica.
Jessica.
Why I
Why I
just
just
asked you if
asked
you
you if you
called me
called me
Jessica.
Jessica.
Why,
Why,
like,
like,
and
and
then
then
there's
there's
my
my
higher
higher
self.
self.
Yeah. That sees through the drama and the trauma. I appreciate you sharing your voice. It was a beautiful poem. You got an incredible mind.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Can I
Can I
share one
share one
more?
more?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I forgave you to forgive me too. You tried to play me for a fool. You thought you were smooth, but baby, you was playing with your emotions too. And I forgave you. I had to forgive me too. You tried to play me for a fool. You was smooth, but baby, you was playing with your emotions too. In a way, you was really saying, I'm really not for you. But you know, hurt people too. Listen, saying I was perfect. I was naive. I had issues just like you. But I'm not the one to sit there and take that, to flip it on them. In front of my demons now, niggas can't shake me down because I'm dripping on them. Don't get it misconstrued. I'm living in this illusion too. But this ain't my reality. I came back to vibe with you, soul, little love, turn the volume up, raise that frequency, get high with you. Matter of fact, can I get high with you? Roll it up in a blue bamboo. Can I get a light? Light it up. Take a puff or two. I'm going all in. I'm feeling brand new. Pass it around. Soon enough, it's on you. I don't need a stylist. All I need is my intuition, my ammunition, loaded up with my ambitions. While I'm standing up ready to face my oppositions, I'm headed to the top and I ain't stopping. I'm a light being and I ain't capping on that one. Living in my true divinity. I am that I am and I always will be. Don't let that go over your head. Wake up and smell the flowers. Come live in heaven on earth with me. Wake up your powers. You are Christ, and Christ is me. The ego is a vessel of low frequency. Rise up, kings and queens. Spread the love and follow me. I can lead you to a path of abundance. Take you out of that mindset of poverty. You are more than what they let you out to be. You are strong. You are free. You are immortal. We are. We were, and we always will be. Ashe.
Ashe, amen. So more to be forever. Beautiful, beautiful, Jory. What do y'all think of Jory's work? What do you think of their performance, her voice, her powerful stance? Let us know in the comments. Good job, Jory.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
letting me
letting me
share.
share.
How does it feel to share your work and your art and your voice?
And I
And I
just get
just
like
get like this
feeling in
feeling
my
in my
chest.
chest.
It's
It's
like
like
overwhelming
overwhelming
at
at
first,
first,
but then
but
when
then
I
when I
get
get
through
through
it,
it,
it's
it's
like
like
it's
it's
like
like
peace
peace
and
and
resonance.
resonance.
Like
Like I don't know how to
I don't know how to
how to
make it
make it
deeper,
deeper,
but
but
it
it
just
just
feels
feels
good.
good.
Word. I feel you. Yes. People in the comments says, I love how she drifted off into it like she went back in time. You are like a performer, Jory. Do you do spoken art? Spoken
Right,
word?
Well,
right now, right
right
now
now
I
I
model.
model.
I
I
do
do
like
like
raps,
raps,
like
like
intellectual
intellectual
raps,
raps,
and
and
some
some
poems
poems
written
written
down.
down. I
I think
think
maybe
maybe
like
like
I
I
just
just
have
have
like
like
fear of
fear of
being
being
seen
seen
sometimes.
sometimes.
It's
It's
easier to
easier to
hide
hide
than
than
to
to
share.
share.
So
So
I feel that. I hope you feel safe to be seen with me and on this stream. What would you say is my final question? What would you say is like the next step with your work or with your voice or with your art or with this message? Because I'm hearing a lot of conversation there that is world changing and mission oriented.
the
the
next
next
is
is
to
to
actually
actually
just
just
sharing
sharing
it,
it,
like
like
putting
putting
myself in
myself in
those
those
spaces,
spaces,
having the
having the
courage
courage
to
to
let
let
people
people
hear
hear
my
my
voice.
voice.
Easy like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
modeling
modeling
is
is
so
so
easy
easy
because
because
you don't
you don't
have to
have to
speak.
speak,
You just
just
have to
have to
show
show
up
up
and
and
be
be
seen.
seen.
But
But
that's
that's
another
another
art
art
form
form
in
in
itself.
itself.
And
And
I
I
know
know
that
that
my
my
voice
voice
is
is
powerful,
powerful,
but
but
it's
it's
also
also
like
like
getting
getting
past
past
months of
months of
like
like
not being
not
able
being
to
able to
speak when I
speak
was
when I
younger,
was younger,
and then
and
like
then like
now
now
having my
having my
voice.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tapping
What's
into
happening
it
into
though.
it though?
I'm here.
You doing
Here,
it
So
so
beautifully.
tapped in.
tapped in.
Yeah, easy like that. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing. I appreciate you. Be sure to hopefully hang out and
Can I ask
Can I
you
ask
one
you
thing
one thing
though?
though?
sure.
What
What
made you
made you
call me
call me
Jessica?
Jessica?
I'm a psychic and a medium. God, Most High Almighty, and our ancestors did.
You need a
You need a
reading.
reading.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
thank you
thank
for
you for
coming in.
coming.
It's a
It's a
pleasure.
pleasure.
My honor, God. Love you. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us. All right. Thank y'all for supporting Jessica, Jory. Thank you for supporting her voice, her word, and her mind heart bridge. If y'all are interested, come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on down type shit. Usually this space is only reserved for SSC community members, but as I get more comfortable with engaging in community and making this experience more available to SSC members. Right now, there's very few members know that this is an experience that's available. So I'm excited and open to welcoming people onto the stream who aren't a part of my community in school. All right, unique intuition, one go. Let's do it. I'm gonna dial you up. Make sure that your art is I mean, fuck it. There's no conditions around art, but you got it. You got it. Calling you right now. Unique intuition. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Uh-oh, she paused off for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm on my phone. I thought it would utilize my notes and my phone at the same time.
No, you
But it
can't click
doesn't.
back and forth.
So I'm about to try and go from what I remember, okay?
Okay.
Okay. With State, it's a just to let you know I'm here. Rubbing on your heart where nobody ever been. Soft spoken, but I'm roaring and I feel it in me. Rather laugh and elevate than sell my soul a pity. Can I let my tongue hang where my drug is? Using words, share love to hold me near. I got these blueprints for the secrets, can I share? I'm trusting destiny to purpose, aligned with fear. Soft spoken dreams unlocking him, awaken man. Touching many turn on the lights that even turn. A blessing that meant to be fucking on my sacred purpose. Slipping, sliding to success, garden glow. Walking away, God said we was fucking chosen. How we twinning, but we different. I'm still indulgent. Unlike the rest, stand on my shit, it's God who holds me. I can't even remember the rest.
Wait, you were spitting though. How we twinning and I'm hurting.
How we twinning, but we different. I like indulgence.
Yeah. So was that about a twin flame or a love story unrequited? What would you say?
It was more so like just understanding that sometimes we attract our opposites and kind of once you come to recognizing that, learning how to play on that in a way that helps you both elevate in whatever space you're in, even though it may be two different extremes. So yeah. Wish I could have read the whole thing, but thank you.
That was good, unique intuition. Can I ask a couple, one more follow up?
Yeah.
How does art and or poetry help you process or help you grow through moments of processing?
For me, I feel like it's usually at the point where I've been so busy with life that I haven't allowed myself to respect my body and just stop and process. So then it just kind of comes up and throw up, usually in poetry or art, like painting or, tattooing. But poetry is usually when I've like compressed myself for so long and held so much in. And then it's like, here.
I feel you. What would you
But
say?
thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I just want to give you the space to talk your mind. Is there anything lately that has been like, I gotta get this off my chest? I know you got a little baby.
Yes, I think lately it's been more so like making love to me and what that looks like today. And I think it's just been more so like gratitude for myself, gratitude for my baby and her beautiful love, and just how me loving on myself and me loving on her, how I see her now kind of pouring into herself, even at 2 and me. So just like, self love and just enjoying that and really taking time to caress myself like I would do my partner if I was in something. But, yeah.
Amen. I appreciate you, unique one. If you want to come back on, you got a space, all right? Don't be shy.
Thank you. Have a great one. I appreciate your circle and you guys' beautiful words and kindness every time I get to realize. So have a great one. Blessings and love to everybody.
Blessings and love, goddess. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank y'all for supporting the mothers and the minds, you know what I'm saying, the voices who are so available. One thing that I really wanted to promote is poetry or creative works or spoken word as a tool of alchemy, you know what I mean? And so if y'all want to come on and share your stories, you don't have to be an artist, you don't have to be a performer even, you don't even have to be on camera. Just if you have any conversation and context to growth, healing, alchemy, transmutation, shifting through seeing shit, you know what I'm saying? We're having a casual night today or tonight. So I'm going to invite in a couple of SSE community members, starting first with Kanisha. She will potentially be hosting a Minds Gem support group with creative works and art, poetry, and stuff. She's also a moderator within the space. I appreciate if you can welcome her graciously. And then if there's any other SSC community members that want to come on and share some poetry, you got the space. Hey, Kate.
Hair wise. Okay.
Beautiful.
Hey.
It looks good.
Thank you.
So how are we feeling? Do you got any art you want to share or any mind spaces?
I do. Why is it echoing though?
I'm going to mute my mic and let's see if that improves. I'm going to mute and see if it helps.
Okay. This one's called The Astrals. I'm ready to drift. I'm ready to be swept away by the astrals. I'm ready to dive deep again. I'm ready to explore all the different aspects of my limitless subconscious and to sit in the darkness, in the void, while I fuel my manifestations. I'm ready for spirit to take me there so I can remember everything again.
It feels like, and for me, I don't, and is it still echoey? You can still hear me and everything?
That's me.
For me, I don't really feel that art and poetry is up for debate. You know what I mean? I'm in observation of your words and your power, and I'm a passenger on that journey. And I felt that was such a beautiful agreement. Like, if this is the life you've given me, I'm fucking ready to live it. What do you feel that was, what was the message in that?
It's like I love stories, and so when I have all these different experiences and things in my dreams or through astral experiences, and I'm remembering my past lives, and I'm listening and talking to my ancestors, it's like the whole, like most of my story feels like it's there, not even in my life. And I am changing that, but I love all of it.
I love your relationship to the astrals too, especially as an Aquarian. It's like you are the bridge to spirit and the astral spaces. All right, I'm sorry, I got to get my shit off. So you got any other works you want to present? I'm going on mute.
I do have one more I wrote. I've been trying to write more, but I've been so busy. So I did write one. It's called The Sun. I try to be nice to the sun. I know how much he misses me. I know how he loves to shine on me. I give him permission to penetrate me deeply. I give him praise as my DNA starts to restructure itself. I am given life by the sun. I feel the radiating purity of his lingering comfort. Every time I step back into the shade, I bring him in with me, and I return out again as I miss him fondly. I radiate again as the wind subsumes me. I swim in its cool current as I bask in the sun, and then I return to the shade once more. Muted!
I love the sensuality of that piece. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yes.
All right. So, comments. What do y'all think? What do you feel about Spirit of Love, about Kanisha's art and work? Her sensuality with the celestials. Celestial sensuality. Oh, shit. Okay.
I know, I was like, should I tone it down? Is it okay?
That was hot. Ain't no man on this planet can satisfy you, girl. You need the damn sun.
Low-key true, though.
Yeah, that's agreeable. What is your idea of the power of words, language, writing or the utility for you? Do you feel that it's helpful in transmutation?
Words
Words
are
are
confusing for
confusing
me.
for me.
Language
Language
itself is
itself is
confusing for
confusing
me
for me
as being
as
super
being super
neurodivergent.
neurodivergent.
I get very
I get very
confused
confused
sometimes
sometimes
with
with
conversation and
conversation
words
and words
because I
because I
know
know it's
so much
so much
deep
deep
meaning,
meaning,
or
or
sometimes it's
sometimes
just
it's
really
just really
shallow,
shallow,
and I
and I
never
never
know,
know,
like,
like,
how much
Right.
should
how
I
much
read
should I read
into
into
the
Yeah.
the
words?
words.
Yeah.
So I
So
try
I
to
try to
keep it
keep
as
it as
simple and
simple and
direct and
direct and
communicate in a way
communicate in a
that
way
makes
that
the most
makes
sense
most
to
sense
me.
to me.
I
I
love
love
speaking with a
speaking
lot
with
of
a lot of
feelings
feelings
and
and
metaphors and that
metaphors,
kind
that
of
kind of
thing
thing,
because I
because I
understand
understand
feelings
feelings
a lot
a lot
better.
better.
I'm like that too. I'm super autistic. I know I probably come off like public speaker or whatever, but I'm always like, listen, this is I don't know, so I just got to go with what I do know.
Mhm.
Uh, have you ever tried scripting or like, do you manifest through writing?
A
A
bit.
bit.
I
I
do a
do a
lot of
lot of
learning
learning
rituals.
rituals.
It's one
It's
of
one
my
of my
main
main
things.
things.
Like
Like
working
working
with
with
fire
fire
is
is
one of
one
my
of my
favorite
favorite
things.
things.
And
And
I
I
have
have
scripted
scripted
before,
before,
but
but
I
I
don't
don't
like it
like
to
it to
be
be
too
too
direct. I
direct. I
like
like
it
it
to
to
feel
feel
like a
like a
story.
story.
So
So
the
the
scripting
scripting
that
that
I
I
do
do
is
is
like
like
note
note
taking,
taking,
Mm-hmm.
positive
positive
things and
things and
things that
things that
I
I
want,
want, you know?
Mm-hmm.
that
That
kind of
kind of
thing.
thing.
But
But
yeah, I've
yeah, I've
done
done
all
all
that.
that.
Yeah. My final question, just to like kind of like pick your brain if you will. I hate that term, but like offer the community a space to see your genius and your interests. What's your idea behind dream interpretations and that stuff?
I love
I love
dream
dream
interpretations
interpretation
because
because
symbolism
symbolism
is
is
so
so
interesting
interesting
and
and
figuring
figuring
out
out
like
like
the
the puzzle
puzzle pieces
pieces
to
to
communication
communication
with
with
your
your
subconscious
subconscious
is
is
very
very
intimate.
intimate.
I
I
didn't
didn't
realize
realize
how
how
intimate
intimate
it
it
was
was
to
to
figure
figure
out
out
my
my
own
own
subconscious.
subconscious.
Like
Like
it
it
goes
goes
very
very
deep,
deep,
and
and
each
each
new
new
layer
layer
that
that
I
I
understand,
understand,
it's
it's
so
so
important.
important.
Like
Like
it
it
seriously
seriously
helps
helps
to
to
heal
heal
me.
me.
So I
So I
highly
highly
recommend
recommend
that
that
everyone
everyone
spend
spend
time
time
writing
writing
down
down
your
their
dreams,
dreams,
do
do
dream
dream
interpretations
interpretation
in
in
your
your
own
own
way. I
way. I
don't
don't
think
think
it's
it's
super
super
necessary to
necessary
like
to like
look up
look
a
up a
book
book
or
or
to
to
look
look
up
up
like
like
even
even
Googling. I
Googling.
feel
I
like
feel like
all of the
all of the
associations are
associations are
very
very
personal,
personal,
at
at
least for
least for
me,
me,
but
but
it
it
can
can
help
help
to
to
use
use
like
like
books
books
and
and
stuff.
stuff.
Most def. Are there any other SSE community members who would like to join us to share your work or join to share some poetry? Master Alchemist Stella says, Kay, you bring words to light as well as to life.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Welcome in, Moon Dance. Good to see you, Bobby. Thank you, Jory. Yes, this is a woman after your art. Very short, but it's a message. My honor. So, Kay, do you want to hang out with me for a while and just kind of like be here to process through some of these conversations?
Okay.
Have a panel talk? So, Kaylee wants to come on and share already. Okay, it's one you posted. I'm looking forward to hearing you perform it. And if there's anyone else, so I'm going to invite in Enkidu, and then I'm going to be processing this work with myself and one of my panelists here. So we look forward to welcoming in your art. Enkidu, hey goddess.
Hello.
God, hello brother. What's going on?
Thank you
Thank you
for
for
addressing me,
addressing me,
Crow.
Crow.
Yes,
Yes,
goddess.
goddess.
It is
It is
very
very
much
much
Gaia.
Gaia.
Amen, amen. So I'm going to go on mute just so I'm not echoing. Good to see you, goddess. Please share with us some of your work and then introduce yourself, Inky. Welcome in.
Hi, my name is Enkidu. I am the precious treasure of this earth. I am Gaia's first son. I am your defender of this planet. The message is the DNA has shifted. You have to believe this. We are making new utopia. And yes, you are part of all these things. We love you so much for being who you are. Do your job. You're already doing it. It's not a poem, it's more a message. Gaia loves you. Thank you so much for loving each other and creating a unity on this planet. We are all one. She loves you. Gaia loves you. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes, and we love you. We love that voice. We love the message and your heart frequency. Is there anything else you want to share? Anything else that you want to feel safely held in? Or,
Haru,
yeah,
you are truly Haru.
you think?
I didn't make you like this to be shy. You will be more bombastic, more yourself. You shall. You shall. You shall have all the things you want. She loves you.
I love you, Inky. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Thank you for the words. Thank you for the washing and the blessings, and for sharing your space, sharing your presence with us.
Love you all. We'll talk to you next time.
All right,
Bye.
Inky. Bye, goddess. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Kay, what did you think of the message and hearing from
I love it.
Inky? Yeah.
I love hearing about Gaia and DNA. So it's very cool.
Yeah. And it seems like I'm really happy and excited that we can. Firstly, I don't like talking like as if people aren't still here. So, Inky, love you, love you, love you. And thank you so much for sharing your space. I love that you introduced identities that are metaphysical and occultic and human. And Kay, I love that this conversation kind of like represents like a merger between like the spiritual identities, you know what I mean? Like a priest, priestess, and our starseed community. Yeah. Anyone else want to come on and share some conversation, share some space? Inky said, I got to get bombastic on y'all ass, so let's get it. Come on. Bring your butt up on here and let's get this motherfucking art going. For good God. Pardon me. Happy to see you smiling, Kay.
Thank you.
If there's anyone else that wants to come and have some fun with us or share some poems. I believe, Kay, you said you wanted to pop up. Pardon me, Kaylee. You wanted to pop on. Yeah. And even if you don't want to if you don't have any art, if you have messages via Gaia, messages that you channel or that you want to share with us, like Inky did, then come on down. Yeah. Welcome in, empowering. I'm trying to see if I've got any poems that I have to share that I can't share.
Oh, you're gonna share poems?
I have so many poems. Yeah.
Please share one.
Oh no, I don't know what to share though. Yeah, you want to do it, Joey? Okay, we about to have a cipher, y'all. All right, let's get Joey going. Let's get Joey up here. And Kaylee, if you want to come on. All right, let's get it. Thank you for being kind and sweet to one another, being welcoming and polite to one another's art too. It's really nice. I'm going on mute. So welcome in, ladies. Let's hear some work from Kaylee. You are our first and newest guest. And then I am so excited to hear any revised or additional works from you, Jory. I'm going on mute.
Can you hear me?
Kaylee. Beautiful.
I love you, Kay. Thank you.
Hello.
I was
Love
bed
you.
rotting, so. Okay. You can hear me, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone looks so amazing. Your hair looks good, Hiru. You took it down. You're like, yeah. And so does yours, Kay, and I'm happy you had a good day. Okay, anyway. The reason I chose this poem is because I feel like it has to do with death and rebirth, new beginnings and endings, especially with all the transmutation that happened in the last moon cycle. So, okay. I am a supernova, the power of beginnings in every atom, from collapse into rebirth, a force of creative energy expanding at the speed of light. I am the sun's ray to touch your skin. Sorry, because you wrote a poem about the sun. Anyway, I am the sun's ray to touch your skin, the chill from its heat caressing. I am the rainbow prism reflected off the convex of dew, the hypnotic glitter dancing over a river's caper, the source of all life on earth made possible by the warmth of light. I am that ever-flowing luminescence. I exist beyond the constructs of time. I'm an electron. I am the negative. I am the deepest parts of space, where no glow reaches to pollute the purity of its vast void. I am the black of a night sky, draped in clouds, fog, and mist, the chill as the molecules rest on your skin. I'm a black hole, brilliant in its mystery, terror, and opportunity. I am not my iris. I am where the light enters and shows no sign of its presence. I am dark matter, holding everything in an ever so fragile state of chaos and peace. I am the sadness that can't bring forth tears, the absence of motion. I am a proton. I am the positive. You are me. That's all.
Are there any reflections or any comments in context to Kaylee's work?
Hi, Empress.
Thank you, chat. Y'all keep sharing, keep sharing.
Thank
you.
I felt Kaylee. Firstly, your voice is so sweet, so fucking sweet and cute, and
Thank
you.
the art in your words is descriptive and journeying. I am always impressed by your occultic or metaphysical conversations, and I feel that you are becoming beautifully grounded in your delivery of your art. I love how you show up today, and you are definitely showing up in your little star seed performance. So, good job, good job.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah, you
definitely
definitely
give me
give me
like
like
fairy vibes.
Thank you. That's sweet. Yeah, I have like a fern dress and I don't know. I wanted to, my friend gave me these earrings. They're like little leaves and they have like the gems are like dew. So I was just kind
Those
of
are
in
so
that
cute.
vibe.
Love that.
Okay. Thank you for the space.
She was a fairy. What? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely fairy. You want to hang out for a second?
Sure.
Thank you, Kaylee. Jory, what you got for us, goddess?
Rap that I wrote. Just in case I need the words. Okay, now listen. I'm going from 0 to 110. Just pay attention. This logic is a confession. Let's not forget to mention the intermission to get back to stillness of mind. Been the greatest. Been the greatest. Fair is the state of mind. Adapted the practices had me stuck in the frequency, frequently doubting me and the ideology that I could be free. Steady searching for that void external to me. Now I'm diligently living in my true divinity. Got my head on a swivel, the bread never little. 44 living on the edge like it's 40 floors. Boarded doors on the crib of my corridors. Spitting facts just to sure I'ma leave your head filled with metaphors up in ass like it's Bellator. They said it's war. You better save face. Y'all here playing with something dangerous. Better play it safe. Talking about the Matrix. That shit is fake. Everybody gotta face it when it's in their face. Another day down, another day closer to me regaining my crown. Elevating through this madness got me stuck up in the closet since that's making my rounds. Stuck up in the closet since that's making my rounds.
wow.
Fucking with it, Joy. Fucking with it. Love the rhythmic. Love the bravado. It feels like a soul risen for me. Random Flower says, "Girl, you ate." It feels like a marching rising. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Y'all got any questions for our panelists and our featured performers, Kanisha, Kaylee, and Jayori? If y'all got any questions for these ladies and artists, be sure to present it right now while they're still with us. Her mind, Gina says, yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I could
I
share
could share
another one.
another
This
one.
one's
This one's
kind of
kind of
sad
sad
though.
though.
All right, let's cry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Mind over matter for so long. I've been gone. Not physically, but mentally so drawn. Mind so gone. Had me in a cage match battling my demons for so long. To the point where I hung myself. Mama praying under me. Suffocating while I'm asking God why my heart keep aching. How I ended back here where I'm steady breaking. Little mama watching now, no time to waste. Fast paced, no excuses, gonna find my way. So gone for so long, making my way back, untouchable reborn. You gotta understand my struggle. I'm a product of society. They made me this way, no place to stay, locked up, mentally incarcerated. On the outside, on the outside, I might have seemed fine, but inside I was torn with no thought to mind. I'm slowly killing myself, not really feeling myself. Like a dope fiend, I'ma get it by any means, just to stay above water, survival by any means. Just please believe, I'ma go harder. The devil wanna keep me, but I know I'm way stronger. Level by level, I'ma make it to the top. Pray to God that my dreams don't stop. 2025, this my year. I suffered in silence for way too long. I seen darker days, lonely nights. It seemed like the storm is over. I paid my price. I see the pain in my eyes, but I don't cry. Let that shit subside. I'm happy now. I'm living my life. What doesn't make you is gonna break you. So please don't let it take you. You're gonna go through the same lessons in life till you finally learn that shit. Life's a bitch, but you know you gotta tame that shit. Now I'm chilling in the yam, smoking a couple grams, looking back at life like, damn, wasn't living, just existing. Put the pedal to the metal. Now I'm gripping the Smith and Wesson. I'm ready to ride. I hope you're ready to die, cause this a homicide. Yeah, this a homicide. I'm taking over. Thanks to Jehovah. Dear God, please be with me. Dear God, please forgive me. But dear God, please always be with me. Yes. That
that
was
was
that was
that was
written
written
from a
from a
painful
painful
time
time
in
in
my
my
life.
life.
A painful space. For me, it feels like the anthem of like the rose that grew from the concrete. Like we broke through and we still bloomed. And I'm still spicy and I'm still beautiful and I got thorns and you may not pick me and I'm still blooming on y'all. It's beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Honor you, yeah. My panelists, do y'all have any conversations or reflections for the art?
Powerful
Powerful
and
and
deep.
deep.
Oddly
Oddly
brings up a
Thank
brings up
lot
a
of
you.
lot of
memories.
memories.
Say that
Say
again?
that again?
Oddly
Oddly
brings up a
brings up a
lot of
lot of
memories.
memories.
I love that art can represent a conduit for healing, the way it inspires the mind to re-engage the memory, and how memories bring back smell, sight, emotion, body, embodiment. And maybe through communal sharing of this art and these conversations, we can heal quantumly or retroactively because we weren't really alone. I know it's painful to have experienced it alone, but in this moment, in retrospect, we weren't alone. Man, that makes me very emotional. I wasn't planning on being emotional. I'm trying to be jokey. I just came from the pool with motherfucking espresso shots and shit. It was beautiful, Jory.
Thank you.
Thank
I've
you.
been
I've
in
been in
this
this
space of
space of
just
just
feeling.
feeling.
Because
Because
for a
for a
while,
while,
I boxed up
boxed
the
up the
emotions and
emotions
put
and
it on
put
the
it on the
shelf.
shelf.
Yeah.
And I
And I
thought
thought
that
that
I
I
was,
was,
you know, working through them, but it was just depressing. And then these past 2 weeks, I just been like trying to tap back in and actually just like feel.
Are you able to share with us, not from like a vulnerable space, but maybe like from a teachable space? Like, what are you feeling today, or what has been the revelation of what you are allowed to feel?
Okay. Well, I wrote this down earlier, and I said when I fell, I had to learn to get back up. To this day, I still fall, but each time I fall, my resilience time gets shorter and shorter. Finding a lesson in everything is so worth it because that bounce back game gets stronger and stronger each time. I'm not gonna sit here and say tell you it's easy, but it's worth it.
Mm.
So like that's where I'm at right now. Like, just
Yeah.
have to. It's like it's like meeting people. Everybody's a mirror, right? And they're always gonna mirror what you lack in yourself. So I thought that I was stronger, or I had this like idea that I built up this strong sense of resilience. And I'm not saying I'm at a moment where I fell again, but it's like it it does the fall doesn't feel as hard, and the more you learn to sit with self and just take the lesson and whatever the situation is for what it is, and for evolution purposes, how like how you're gonna grow and make those weaknesses or that lack that the person is mirroring stronger. How are you gonna sit with yourself and show up for yourself? You know, and I realized that I had fears and insecurities that I thought that I worked through, and I clearly didn't. I just suppressed them, so they showed up again. And this time, instead of being miss, it is what it is. Moving on, taking the time to like actually do that inner work and tend to my inner child because it's really her. It's like it's little Jory and Jessica. Bringing up Jessica again, she's on that like you know what I'm saying, like chuck it up deuces onto the next. But Jory's like I literally like had to also remember that the character I created is not really me. So learning to balance the two. And if you guys go to my page, you'll see that I had like this really long hair and I have locks and my locks go down to my butt. And that character that I created, I thought it was me, but I'm going back to the basics now and just like that was another authentic part of myself, but now I need to resonate in Jory D. Yeah.
Amen. I love that, Joy D. And okay, so it's a lot for me as a man and as a male healer because it feels like what you're sharing with us is a revelation after being bullied or revelation after being oppressed and suppressed, having done a tool of masking and then growing in the mask, which is a character or like a persona, and now having choosing to take the mask off and being like, a unification and integration of the wound. So as a healer and a shaman, I have no choice but to bow to you and to organize that beautiful work with applause. But I am getting spicy as a man because it sounds like one thing that I don't like is the tool of God, the tool of the woman, which is expression. And sometimes that is suppressed. And then there's so much that I want to say. And then there's years of having not been able to say it. And then there's reflections of, well, what does that mean about me that I can't say? And no, 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 no. But that's a moment blown up. Does that make sense?
Right.
A moment with the bully blown up. So I love you and I'm proud of you and good job. And I
Thank
just
you.
liked where you're at. Amen. With applause. What do you think, panelists? Not to make everything about healing or review, but I do think that this is a beautiful teachable moment on the other side of things.
It is.
Yeah.
Your poetry is like a spiritual experience. I kept getting chills up and down, and I really think that your words offer revelation, but then also the way in which you perform them. Like, do you have music on Spotify, or you know what I mean? Like, anyways, I understand that you're just getting into it or allowing yourself to explore this, but to know or to have that affirmation that it's so well received when you're just starting, I think that's a pretty huge stoke. But what was cool to see was in the first, not the first poem you performed in this section, you were talking about this rebirth cycle that you had with yourself, but also like with your own internal divine, but then also with the divine masculine or divinity outside of yourself when you were crying out to a dead God after your experience of rebirth, and then in your which I resonated with really deeply. Oh my gosh, that part I was like, oh my gosh, I just want this part to never end because I felt it so deep in my soul. And then you were repeating it too. And I was like, oh my God, thank you for giving space for that because that is what it feels like. But, and then in the next poem that you just, the last poem that you just did, you were talking of every time I come back up, it's a little bit easier. And there was so much life in it. And so I just think that that's a really beautiful shift that you made and finding the divinity within yourself that is this driving force of just pure creative power. And it's in alignment with your writing journey. I just think it's so cool. And I'm so grateful you came back up and shared because yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
No,
And
I really needed to hear that. Thank you.
oh my gosh, you're brilliant. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I
I'm
think
a
that's
fan
the
too.
thing too. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And it's just my mind just always is just always going. I feel like I'm like what do they call those, like a scribe? Like you need to know how to be better. Like I cannot stay stagnant. Like if if something goes wrong, not saying I have to fix everything, but it's like I need to be at peace at all times, even
Mm,
when there's chaos. And it's like finding ways, healthier ways to continuously find that peace and stay grounded, is like I feel like that's just like my main journey, and also like just being an example to people because I try talking to people and people don't listen, you know? Or they take what they want and it goes through one ear and it goes to another. It just right now I'm just like, might as well just set the example. Um, do right, like let everybody hear what I need to say through my music or my poetry or even like, my modeling, like because modeling says a lot without words.
mhm.
So yeah, just being an example because nobody believes anything until they experience it. Because I could tell people all day that I'm living in heaven, and they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Like, I'm literally experiencing heaven, but I had to practice mindfulness and practice a lot of different shit to get here. Like, it's not easy, but I'm here now, and I'm speaking through experience. Like, you can get here, you know? So like that, I feel like, that's what my art is gonna be able to tell. Like you can be where I'm at. You just have to meet yourself because like my favorite quote right now is people can only meet you as far as they met themselves.
Very true. Wow. Your art, your poetry reminds me a lot of my inner child, or like my younger self, like the younger version of me, because the way you speak your poetry reminds me of rap. I used to write these raps when I was very young. There was this really cheap movie my mom got. It was called like Annie Be Real. It was about this female rapper. And I had this notebook and I would write raps in it, which were, my first poems, I guess. But it reminds me
Hmm.
so much like the way you speak it. Like definitely, like you said, you could put some music behind behind your poetry for real. And I just think about how resilient that version of me was and who I am now. Very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for sharing that too, because
Because
like
like
that's
that's
literally
literally
where
where
I
I
write
write
from,
from,
or
or
where I
where I
wrote
wrote
those
those
from.
from.
Like
Like
that
that
was
was
literally
literally
my
my
inner
inner
child
child
speaking
speaking
where
where
she
she
never
never
be
be
was
was
where
where
she
she
was
was
never
never
able to
able to
speak.
speak.
I don't know
I don't know
how to
how to
say
say
that
that
properly,
properly,
but
but
I
I
agree. I
guess
I
I
guess
love.
could
I could
say
say
my
my
art.
art.
Oh, I'm
Oh, I'm
sorry. Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to overspeak. You were saying?
No,
No,
I'm
I'm
saying
saying
like I
I
guess I
guess I
could
could
say
say
like
like
my
my
art
art
could
could
is
is
just
just
like
like
everything that
everything
my
that my
inner
inner
child
child
never
never
got to
got to
say,
say,
and the
and the
development
development
over the
over the
years
years
of
of
like
like
the
the
of
of
my
my
intelligence. I
intelligence.
mean
I mean
my
my
emotional
emotional
IQ
IQ
and all
and
of
all of
that.
that.
Like
Like
help
help
develop my
develop
inner
my inner
child's
child's
way of
way of
thinking or
thinking or
vocab. I
vocab.
don't know
I
how
don't know how
to
to
say
say
that,
that,
but
but
y'all
y'all
understand what I'm
understand what I'm
saying.
saying.
No, that was bars. That was lit. And I just want to like put a zoom in and highlight that because that was beautiful. The language of the inner child, they are emotionally intelligent. They maybe don't have the words for it. And I'm so fucking happy that you are here shooting this fire and spitting this truth and bridging that bridge between the inner child, because what you're sharing with me now and with the community is how to save ourselves and how to be our inner child savior, and like the process of self-leadership through pain of abandonment through the parents, etc., etc. So I know that maybe we're having fun and it's being creative, but this is actually a graduation ritual. This is a jumping through this portal of applause. So good job, Jory, and just
Thank
Thank
organizing
you.
the
you.
magic that you have come to share. Good job.
Thank
Thank
Yeah.
you.
you.
Leading the self. Amen. How are we feeling about this chat? How are y'all feeling about Jory's revelation when it comes to inner child rescuing? Somebody said, literally, girl, you got that. Applause,
Thank
Thank
applause.
you.
you.
Yeah. So we're going to be hanging out for a little bit more. If you all have any questions for our panelists, we got Kanisha, Spirit of Love, we got Kaylee, and we got Jory. If you got any questions for these ladies or any curiosities around the inspirations of their art, go ahead and ask. Desi, you want to come on? Or Afro, you want to come on?
Where are you
Where are you
guys on
guys
your
on your
journeys?
journeys?
Me?
So any of
Any of
y'all.
guys?
I am on a journey of reclamation and self-respect. So after reclaiming something, we get to look at it and say, you want to know what? This is valuable as fuck. And then beginning to create boundaries. I'm in my Sade Sati, which says that my emotions are very like calling for security. But that's where I am on my journey. But I think we're all in journeys. Where y'all at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my
In my
current
current
journey right
journey right
now, I'm
now, I'm
basically
basically
on
on
a
a
new
new
chapter, new
chapter,
book.
new book.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, new
Actually, new
book.
book.
Getting ready
Getting ready
to
to
start
start
off at
off
a
at a
new
new
foundation.
foundation.
Like,
Like,
started
started
over,
over
basically.
basically.
Genesis
Genesis
Claus
Claus
said,
said,
Kanisha,
Kanisha,
what was
what
the
was the
inspiration for
inspiration
your
for your
sun
sun
poem?
poem?
Literally
Literally
just
just
went
went
outside,
outside,
was
was
enjoying the
enjoying the
sun,
sun,
enjoying the
enjoying the
wind,
wind,
came
came
inside and
inside
wrote
and
a
wrote a
poem
poem
about it.
about it.
That's awesome. How about you, Kaylee? Where are you on your journey?
I
I
feel like
feel like
I'm at
I'm
a
at a
place
place
of
of
reclamation
reclamation
also
also
with
with
the,
the,
sorry, it's
sorry,
like
it's like
echoing, so
echoing,
I'm
so I'm
talking
talking.
slow, but oh, thank you. Okay. I feel like I'm at a place of reclamation too, here in a similar way. It's like, wait a minute, this must be worth something if you're willing to do all that fucking craziness to keep it around. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm going back in time and taking myself back from the people that stole from me. And then I'm giving them back what they were trying to make me hold for them. So I did that recently. And then I'm also getting back into like physical magic. So um, I did a couple cord cuttings the last full moon cycle, and I'm like, I have a list now because it feels so good to do it, and I'm like, and so I'm like, all right, you need to go, you need to go, you need to go get out.
That's
Sorry.
crazy that we literally all did cord cutting rituals this full moon, because that's one of the ones that
I
I
did
did as
one too.
well.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
God, you did one too?
And
Okay,
it felt good, huh?
we're pretty on point.
Are we all
Oh, I
resonating
love
right now
that
in the
for
same
us.
frequency?
Yes.
Yes, actually, that's how it works. Like, actually, yes. But yeah, so that's kind of exciting. And as far as art goes, I feel like I'm a baby too. I feel like we're all babies when it comes to art because you're always learning more and more and more. And then that transforms you. After you create something, it transforms you. And then you're a new person and then you have to relearn again. I remember when I was painting, it was like every time I got my paints out, I had to relearn how to use them. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And so I think
Even
it's
my
like this,
style changed so much. It's like I have to relearn what makes sense to me now.
yeah. And so I think it's probably the same with words too, or speaking, modeling even. The way you move your body is different after you experience a healing or a transformation. So I love the way that that you speak about art. And Kay, your art, all of your art forms. Oh my God. Um, yeah, it's just fun to be with creatives. Hugh, are you going to share a poem? I don't want to push the subject, but you
I know
know,
I'm like waiting.
you brought it up. It wasn't,
Like,
it was you.
Yeah, I can. My art is healing my community. You know what I'm saying? The art that I make is building schools. But Lord have
I
mercy.
I
know.
know.
Let me put my soul on the grill for y'all. Sure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Let me see what I want to share. I have something that's like a story of my soul that I was when I was walking at that time. So maybe I'll do that. All right. Murdered, dreams gone, notes on the iPhone, traveling around the world but in muted tones, making money on my own but it feels wrong. Raised to live a lonely life. Guess that's what I'm on. Was trying to get on quick. Ignoring morals like I'm allergic. My God, I've abandoned. That little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. But first, there's a few lights within that I had to extinguish. The original Southern Beast of the Wild. You ever seen a child wild out cause his life is on trial? I've been trying to excuse the bullshit for a while. Closed mouths don't get fed, side eyes really fucked up my smile. Figuring a way through day and day, obey and function. Never wanted to get burned, live and learn, I learned my lesson. Starting to be like, can I be, is out the question. So I beg the question, baby, should I be ashamed? No! Yeah, go on! Thank you. So that's called shame. It's like the internal conflict of a gentle spiritualist and the war cry of a man in this world who's got to get what he's got to get for himself. And that push and pull of inspiration, motivation, and sacrifice. Thank y'all for hearing me out.
That's words, I'm sorry. But just when you started, it's like, oh shit. And you delivered. Amazing.
Do
Do
another one.
another one. Do another one.
Another one.
All right, let me see. Oh, good. I gotta pick one though. Come on, talk. Come on, like I gotta like go through the. We all making these dwarfs and shit.
Shared my goals like this, or had a poetry slam, anything since high school, you guys. High school.
High school.
Where you
Where you
from?
I'm from the Bay Area. Lived in Texas during middle school, but mostly up and down the Bay Area.
Okay. That's where you're now? In Cali?
I'm in San Jose right now. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are in Cali?
Bay Area. We're all in Cali.
Okay. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Mass.
Your creative voice is so powerful. It's so different and unique than your business voice, you know? And I wasn't, because the first time you did a poem reading, it was a poetry reading, so I was not expecting you to come out with your performance, and oh my God, it hit. But your words, they're so impactful. I got teary-eyed for sure, but like just the way that you spoke your story with so much strength and so much gentleness, and you held all emotion for every emotion that your little inner boy was feeling, but also the man that you are. And it's like you honored each of those aspects within yourself. And it was just so incredible, that journey. And I feel like it held space for everyone else. Like you said, your art is healing. And so I feel like your expression of that softness within the strength, it gives space for us to feel that too, and for other men. And so I'm excited for you to, I know you're exploring your music, so I'm excited that you're gifting it to us in this moment, and we get to hear it and experience it with you, the side of you.
I think that, I mean, this is a very personal side of me that I don't show a lot on my stream, but I think that I have a hard time accepting love or receiving love and accolades. And you, Kaylee, specifically, and you, Kanisha, and the entire team has broken that of me. And I'm very grateful. I'm sorry if it's echoing a little bit, y'all. And I also am very grateful to hold space for autistic boys, you know, men who are spiritual. And my story of, whenever I like speak about my autism, I will get foggy eyed because I get so attacked for being like normative, but really my truth is like I'm a fucking very curious little magical boy, and that's it. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? That's that. But there's so many attacks on the black man and on the mind of men. But I can understand it. It's fair, narcissism, et cetera, white patriarchy. Got so many demons. So I thank y'all for holding space for my gentleness. And also like this club, nah, he was a fiery dragon, girl. You better chill out. I also like this club of like we're making love cool. We're making emotions cool. We're making the neurodivergent mind cool because we are without like you can't just kind of like do a cookie cutter experience. Low key, we're all talking the same language. We look radically different. We're speaking radically different, but we are one and the same. Am I still echoing, y'all? Yeah. So I just have to go off mute. If one of the panelists, if Kay or Kay, if you want to spearhead the conversations, answer the question just so I can stay out of the way a little bit with the echo.
I just want to say that thank you for like speaking on your inspiration for it too, because when I was listening, I did see myself in it as like the autistic expressions of it, obviously, and I saw Irving in it, and I saw his
Ooh.
and how he stands up for himself against, because I give him the space to do that. We didn't have that space, I feel like, with our boomer parents. And I think that that's what really triggers people. And so it was so fun hearing you speak like that and then seeing that reflection um, in, in my autistic boy and just how healing it is to be able to express that, to express its justice for yourself. It is. When you're speaking in those terms, you're getting your justice. It's really beautiful. Thank you for speaking for so many communities.
You know what I feel like? Also, it started out with like murdered, dream gone. And I feel like so many of us who are neurodivergent, spiritual, have felt like parts of us have died that we would have loved to have kept alive and have had to suffer so many death cycles, even as children. When I think of like young girls, women suffering death cycles, and how I've suffered a death cycle as a full grown man and the pain that I've experienced in those chapters, I'm like, goodness gracious. What? So yeah, the many times that we've been, I'm sorry, trigger warning, harmed in that way. Anybody on the chat, y'all got any poems that you'd like to share? So for instance, if you want to just come on and share your voice, we got some artist revolutionaries up here. We would love to, these ladies would love, and myself would love to hold you safely, hold your voice, hold your expressions, whatever you may want to share. You're welcome to dial up and come on down. Desi says, this last ascension, let me find her again. Amen. The inner girl, the truth. She says, she's not actually gone. Amen.
Mhm.
Desi, do you want to come on and share some of that conversation? You don't have to be on camera. These are revelatory. And Gina, if you'd like to as well. Hey, Minnie. Okay, only when everybody speaks. Karmic says she's been scared or frightened, but not gone. And that's the beauty of safety. We say, come on out. You ain't got to be scared. Look at this grown-ass man crying. He's autistic too. You ain't got to be scared nothing. All right, Desi. So I'm going to invite one of our community members up. Sometimes it's hard. I can't invite you on, Desi. What are the limits, y'all, with the followers or something? Or can you try to dial me, Desi?
It might be on her settings, on her part.
Try joining Desi using the guest button. Try that way.
I'm dialing up mad people. Y'all better pick up the phone. All right? I'm dialing up mad people. Y'all better pick up the phone. Karmic. Hey, Grace.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, family?
What up? What up? What up? I don't have a poem or anything. I'm here for the vibes. I'm enjoying everybody. This is so cool. I actually I've been, you know, we all been on our journey, right? And I was like, dude, this sucks. I want some friends, man. And sure enough, here we are. So I'm like, cool, we're all friends now.
Straight like that. Period. Happy to be a friend. Happy to be in community with you, Karmic. Just to hold you safely, you don't need to share any creative works. Are you wanting to share with us what are you alchemizing right now? So like for me, I'd love to share. I'm alchemizing through my voice. So y'all see me crying, you see me, you know what I'm saying, doing all types of shit. But I am being intentional, just using my voice to power through. Because I'm an Aries and I'm autistic and I'm neurodivergent. I will shut down and be like, you get it. Y'all hear me? I'm telepath. Everybody is listening. How about you, Grace? What are you processing through right now, and how can we hold you as community or as friends?
Right. And it's similar for me. It's been a very difficult situation where it feels kind of like, I don't really get to tell my side of the story type of situation. But I'm like, you know what? That's okay though, because I know where I'm at and realizing like, okay, well, it's me needing to validate myself. And I've been looking everywhere outside of me, and that's why I'm feeling like so frustrated and like I don't have the support that I need type of thing. And and really like working through that and also making space for myself and not letting other people's baggage kind of hold me down and stop accepting other people's things.
Libra placements? Just kidding.
No. No. Well, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't even know, man, honestly. I only know my big three. I don't know the rest of them. I get confused with all the signs.
No, but outside of spiritual jokes, that's major serious healing. This idea of carving out space to hear my story, and especially in these one-sided competitions where people like to suppress our stories and still try to outcompete us. And you're like, if I could just talk up, I would be holding ground in this conversation. Because I have so much echo, y'all, I'm really hesitant to talk. So if y'all want to share more conversation or let me know what you're feeling, especially you, Kanisha. Stella, you would just come on and share with us your alchemical processes. Grace, is this in context to, pardon me, never mind. I don't mean to pressure you or put too much on the spot. If you want to share anything else, we look forward to however you want to talk, goddess. Okay, thank you, Kaylee. One thing that I'm noticing, a trend, is kind of like this abandonment of savior mode for people who can't save themselves. And for, and not to say that's like an aggression, like let's dead empathy, but like this conversation of recalling our power back totally after trying to give it away. It's like we tried to give the power away, and God is like, no, I'm gonna need you to hold this. And you're like, what am I gonna do with this love? With
I mean,
this
yeah,
intelligence?
essentially, because it was like I got kind of like we were talking about the masks, and I got used to that was how I identified as like showing up for everybody, and then realizing like I wasn't getting what I needed. And then it's like, okay, well, you have to stop doing that if you want to get to where you want to go, fam. Like, come on, bro, what you doing? And really just being honest with myself and being able to sit there with it and be like, okay, it's me. I'm my biggest op right now, and I need to stop. I need to sit down somewhere.
That's brave and beautiful of you. It's we, you know what I'm saying? It's our love for love, I think. What do y'all think, panelists? Because I'm not really open to blaming us. Okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. We've taken as much accountability as we can. I mean, I want love. I want community. I want grace around my wounds. I want safe space to share conversation. And so I'm proud of you, Grace, for being able to find a space, hopefully, where you can feel seen and heard, even when saying the least. Because this type shit is the stuff that drives us crazy a little bit, driving us into our hermit caves. And then we're like, we're streaming from our hermit caves, all of us. We're like, what? You in hermit mode too? Pull up, like, oh my God. So yeah, I hope that we can continue to see ourselves with proper healthy boundaries around areas of life that we basically can't abandon, love and support. What are your thoughts, Kaylee?
Thank you, because I had some thoughts. Anyways, I think too that we're gaslit a lot because I don't know about you, but I feel like maybe it's just because because of okay, let me ground and try to figure out what it is I'm trying to say. I feel like we are the ones that are presented a lot of times as the ones who need fixing or saving also, right? So maybe we are pouring into others, but I don't think that we're pouring into others, I know, in like a hierarchical way of like, let me fix you. It's like it's kind of like info dumping. It's like, oh, I have this knowledge, or I have this healing modality, or I have this thing, and I know, and I want to share it with you, and I know it can help. But then they look at us. It's a different type of it's a different type of saving because they look at us and they see, you know, how abstract we are, and they try to save us or fix us or place us into boxes where we don't belong or put us into a category in their life that serves them only. And then we become a type of savior, but that's because that's where they put us. So I don't know if anyone else resonates with that, but it's like I feel like it's just a really interesting type of like spiritual and psychological warfare to be the one that's pouring so much into others and then gaslit about it and said, no, you're wrong for the way that you naturally exist. Let me break down every part of you that I find beautiful. Um, you know what I mean? Because that's what they do. Let me break you down and break you down and break you down until you have nothing left. And then I have to be the one that you know, I don't understand what the point of it is, but I feel like that's what they do, right? Am I okay,
Mhm.
cool. Thank you.
That was good. That was a good segue because I also feel like narcissists, for some reason, are competitive around something that they don't like. And we're like, why are you so envious and jealous of me and you don't like me? Or you don't like how I do things or how I would do things. So it's like this open yet closed competition. What are your thoughts on that, Kanisha?
With several of my exes, it definitely felt like that. It was also like they would be drawn to me because of my energy, and they would love me or pretend to love me, but be trying to change me is the main issue that I face. Trying to change me, tell me, no, this is wrong, or trying to like adjust my personality or my way of being because it's wrong, but they just love me so much. So it was like, do you actually love me? I'm confused because you don't seem to like me very much. You don't seem to like any parts of me. So very weird. It's like they love the energy, but it's like they don't understand. Like there's some kind of disconnect. They're feeling the emotion and they want you to not go away. They want me to not go away. Be right there. Keep loving them. But also like you also do this, this, this in the way I like. Like, no, nope.
Agreed. It's like cognitive dissonance. That's what I'm hearing when you share that. Cognitive dissonance. Somebody in the comments said, literally. And then Karmic says, yeah, that's toxic love. And Random says, they break you down to fix you to make themselves feel better. It's a crazy cycle. Yeah. And then we're talking about lovers, parents, society at large, the government. We're talking about all these people, all of these communities. Desi says, I remember screaming like, can you at least treat me like a stranger? Wow. Wow. Treat me like a stranger. Cause you dead ass be saying hello to them. And you come in this house looking real stank with your mouth turned upside down. Treat me like a stranger. I'm sorry, I'm getting bombastic on the stream, y'all. Begging and crying. That's OD. Karmic says, well, that's the thing with the mirror. Hurt to see how they fail themselves when looking at us. That's true. That's a bar, Desi. That's why I need you on this panel, comedian. Can you treat me like a stranger? Because this lover shit, this is dangerous. I'm in enemy territory.
been in been in situations and spaces like that, especially like meeting people that I guess you could say like are more masculine or just have that more of a masculine energy. Cause right now I'm trying to like be in my soft girl era and be soft, and I would meet people that want to bring that like aggression or just like I don't know. It's like it upsets them that that I'm like so kind and just like so calm and non-reactive. So they try to push and push to get a reaction. So I could definitely resonate with that.
So I just want to welcome in Desiree, one of our SSE community members, and also reflect and acknowledge your statement, Jory. I understand this idea of not allowing women, especially Black women, to be soft and subtle, to be perceived in the way that they want, and that perception be the interpretation that they say it is. I understand that, and I love you, and I'm grateful that you're sharing that because that is also narcissistic gaslighting. This idea that you're not soft enough for me to respect, or you aren't woman enough for me to treat you like a woman. Me as a man, that's not good. That's never going to fly. And I hear exactly what you're saying. I love how it's organized from your voice. I want to welcome in Desiree. Hello, goddess. How you feeling? Looking beautiful and looking good.
Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out this app still. You have to leave me alone. I'm old. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Thank you for having me.
Desiree. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
Desiree is one of our SSE community members and also an excellent mother and professional, and obviously an excellent comic. So you were saying,
No
Desiree,
pressure though.
yeah, you were saying, can you treat me like a stranger because this friendly shit is harmful?
Yeah, yeah. So like, I was married to one, and he was such an asshole. Like, I remember, I didn't actually know that. I mean, y'all know how it goes. I didn't know the dude until after, right? Everything was done, and when he started like showing his personality and coming out as he actually was, I remember just like even the first time I said it to him, being like, bro, can you at least treat me like as kindly as you would a stranger on the street? Because that is infinitely better than the way you're acting right now, you know? And yeah, I mean, it went downhill from there, but it's crazy. It's crazy how, exactly like Kaylee was saying, they are so interested in tearing down every fiber of your being and everything that makes you who you are. It's just, it's absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. But yeah, like if you could just treat me like you would, a worker at a drive-through window, that would be amazing at this point because like it's too much.
Yeah. And Desi, I know that you have a really, or that you've landed in this really beautiful space of self agency after kind of like dealing with so many narcissistic personalities. Um, are you wanting to share some of your journey with us?
Yeah, sure. How far back do we want to go?
Let's just say the
So
main players, like the mother and the ex and the main players.
yeah, so I came from a place where my mom was an addict and she was really mean and abusive my whole life. I ended up leaving home on my 17th birthday because the cops told me that they wouldn't pull me in for being a runaway anymore. So I bounced, I left and got my own place. Um, had a baby at 18, went to school and all the things, was a single mom, raised him and all of that good stuff. When he finally was old enough, I felt for me to start having my own relationships, I started dating this guy and he's amazing. We're having fun. We're going out like every day. We're, just doing all the things. And, ultimately, my he proposed to me, and that night my son got hurt, and I'm not gonna belabor that too much, but I was just in such a daze from all the trauma dealing with this stuff with my son that, like, I don't think I really noticed or didn't have the emotional space to clock what was happening, right, in my relationship. And so, uh, as I was dealing with all this other trauma, I'm still getting married to this guy. We bought a house a week after we got married. We closed on this house. And as soon as we closed on the house, it got abusive. Still dealing with my son healing, still dealing with, everything else. And so now I'm in it with this guy, right? Like, I can't just leave. I've got a very, very, very expensive home, very, very, very expensive medical bills, and just wasn't in a place to walk away. And so, aside from like the emotional abuse and the verbal abuse and really psychological torture that he was putting me under, maybe a couple months after we got married, it got physical. uh, Tried to go to therapy because I was in so deep, right? At this point, and I had so much to lose, and I didn't know how I was going to pull it together. And so I was sleeping in a separate room a couple months after we were married and went to therapy, and it didn't change. It just got worse and worse and worse as it does. And finally, and we were both working from home at the time. So he was even following me to my therapist's office. Like, I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't talk on the phone to even my mom or my best friend or anybody without this dude following me. So um, I knew he had a standing meeting with his boss at a certain time. And as soon as that meeting started, I grabbed the clothes that were in my dryer, grabbed my dog, got in my car, and drove away. And that's the last time I saw him, actually. He didn't even come to divorce court. So,
I feel like that's low key an achievement and a performance, like a piece of poetry, a piece of artwork from the heart of a brave woman navigating and transmuting from her teenage years into a moment where she's comfortably able to join a live stream, share that conversation, and who knows what other young women you're touching in this area. Thank you for sharing,
it's
Desi.
sorry, I was trying to hit the mute button is what that face was. It wasn't at you. I swear. I'm not like, what is he doing? No, I hope so. And I hope that we were talking about this a long time ago, or I was talking about it anyway, in SSE. I hear so many young women come to you asking questions about men who behave similarly, right? Like, men who won't celebrate your birthday, men who won't allow you to shine in any way or experience happiness or experience a life outside of them. And uh, I see so many of them and they're so young, and I'm thinking like, man, if you can just not do what I did, right? Like, if you can get out before you have all of these obligations, it will save you so much heartache. And so that's one of the reasons that I really appreciate your ministry so much, is because I know that you don't aim to break anybody up or, tear anybody's relationship apart, but we do have those very honest conversations in our community. Like, friend, I am, whatever, 20 years older than you, 10 years older than you, and I've been there. Like, please hear that, it's not what you think it's going to be. You can't make a man love you, right? So yeah, you just gotta move on and heal from that at that point, right?
I really, really appreciate and love your not just strength and bravery, but your grace when you speak, grace for yourself and your own story, and for this kind of work. Um, on the other side of having those experiences, as I would say a success story, or as someone who is showing up as a triumph, Thank you for joining us, Karmic. Are you able to share any insight on like the value of community or the value of like safe conversations? I'm sure you had tried to talk with your mother, tried to talk with, et cetera, et cetera. Go ahead.
So I think it is so important to always maintain that space where you have someone who you can be very honest with about your relationships and who you can be very honest with about whatever it is that you're experiencing, right? Like as you're navigating and healing through whatever, traumas, trials that we face in life, like even if you don't have like severe trauma, life is just hard. It's just hard. And so you need people who are honest with you. And I think that, if you're maintaining a relationship and a community wherein you can be honest about what's happening in your life, you can get the feedback that you need to hear because when we're in the middle of what's going on, right? It's like being in the middle of a storm. You can't see what's 10 feet in front of you, but someone standing right outside of it could be like, hey, hold on, don't drive that car through that storm for just 10 more minutes, friend. Just hang tight, it's going to pass, right? But when we don't have anyone around us, we're driving in the middle of that storm constantly, and we don't have any way to help us visualize how to get out of it. And it's not, I think sometimes people look for healing in ways that are like, hey, I need you to do this for me. But the truth is that what you really need is your community to just point and say, hey, there's the path. You have to take it, right? Um, but you need those things, and none of us can be all things to all people, and none of us can be we can't look at ourselves from the lens of other people. So it's infinitely important. It is the most important piece of being healthy and happy and full and whole.
That was a major bar. The most important piece to being healthy and happy and whole. Go ahead, Kaylee and Kanisha. You guys got it. What are your thoughts?
Well
Well
said,
said,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
You are
You are
so
so
wise.
wise.
Thanks.
While you were
While you were
talking,
talking,
I was
I
just
was just
like,
like,
I hope
I
I
hope I
sound like
sound like
her
her
in
in
like
like
10,
10,
20
20
years
years
or
or
5 years,
5 years,
honestly.
honestly.
I hope
I
I
hope
feel
I
like
feel
I
like I
understand
understand
things
things
on that
on that
level,
level,
yeah, more
more
mature
mature
level.
level.
I have
I
been
have been
feeling
feeling
this
this
desire
desire
for
for
like a
like a
deeper
deeper
wisdom,
wisdom.
and you
And you
definitely
definitely
provide
provide
that
that
in this
in this
community.
community.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You got it, Kaylee.
Thank you so much for sharing your story um, and your strength. And I just think it is really validating for so many people because it is this type of they, I feel like there's this conversation a lot of times of like, well, why did the woman stay? Or, she needs to choose better men or something like that. But really, what you described was that he showed you a side of himself and then switched the moment he got what he wanted. And so it's this deep type of manipulation. And then that is kind of like a shell shock because while that switch happens, they're blaming you for it. They're like, well, if only you were better in this way, then I wouldn't be acting like this, right? Because it's like, how else could it change so drastically? And I just think you're just a pillar of strength. Like everything that you've gone through, that's crazy too. That that all was happening while you were going through what you were going through with your son. Fuck. Um,
Um,
sorry.
sorry.
It's just
It's just
overwhelming
overwhelming
because
because
we
we
love each
love each
other
other
all
all
so
so
much,
much.
So then
So
it's
then it's
like
like
when
when
hearing it
hearing it
from
from
you,
you,
from your
from your
voice,
voice,
it's like,
it's like,
holy
holy
fuck.
fuck.
I
I
can't
can't
believe I
believe I
know this
know this
person.
person.
This
This
person that's
person that's
overcome
overcome
so
so
much.
much.
and it's such an inspiration to me. And um, it's like you're a lighthouse for what's possible.
Don't make me cry.
One thing I want to say is one thing I love about girls and women is your connection to God and spirituality through your innocence and your emotions. And one thing I want to say is that innocence can never be stolen. You know what I mean? And through these experiences, I know it may feel like, man, I started off as an innocent teenager and I've done an arc of growth and healing, and so much was stolen from me during that experience and that journey. But I do hope that we can continue to applaud innocence and applaud essence and like cuteness. You know what I mean? I'm not being like, I'm not, whatever. These things are very special and very spiritual and very close to girlhood and womanhood and God. And so I do hope that as a community and as a panel and as a lighthouse to the community that's watching us, that we can continue to understand that nothing is taken from your innocence. But we are, if you agree, but we are re-inviting it through these sacred spaces. My innocence too, our childhood innocences.
I do. I absolutely agree with that, and I think it's important that you call that out because, like we talked about, and like we talk about in SSE, or like I was just talking about the other day, I have a lot of trauma, but I'm not those things, right? And it took a whole lot of work and a whole lot of years, and actually, I've been working with Hiru and others, in traditional therapy as well for years to get back to a place and working on inner child healing and doing what I needed to do to not be this person who has to be that strong all the time, right? And to be in a place where I've created a life around myself that doesn't require me to keep that shield up constantly. And that has allowed me to that has allowed me to absolutely find my inner child and that innocent girl again and allow myself to live comfortably in that space. And that's, you know, it's hard to do, but we can absolutely get there. I know that I didn't share so many critical aspects of that story, but and I'm not going to. I don't even know if I could talk about all of those things without getting you booted, right? But I mean, it was so bad that if I could just express that, you can get to a healed place and an innocent place and a place where you can be reborn through spirit, right? And live comfortably again in this space that we lived in before with the knowledge that we have now without being so harsh and without having to be that person. So I appreciate you saying that too.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I feel that we are having a Friday Sabbath. It's a healing happening. I feel spirit flowing through the spaces. I would love to invite you on, Stella. I understand you saying you don't want to share anything special, but just something special. So I will invite you on. Gina says thank you. And many of the viewers in the space are agreeing with you, ladies, saying, yeah, to romanticizing life. And absolutely. And I love this idea of re-inviting in God and spirit after trauma and deepening the relationship with self. Inviting Stella on for some conversation and revelation. Empress says, we just have to remember that they saw something light in us that we didn't see in ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's the journey. This is Master Alchemist Stella Edwards. Whenever she gets a chance, I'm sure she'll introduce herself. Hello, Stella. Welcome on.
Hi guys. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm actually quite sick tonight, but I've decided I'll give it a shot and hopefully someone will understand what I'm saying. My daughter's been quite sick, so I guess I caught the bug. But I guess I was listening to the point about the innocence being stolen. And I had to return the message to Hiru and say, well, in my mind, I was thinking, I really need to speak about that because I think the light inside, we all have a light inside of us. And yes, we can experience some terrible things, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not convinced that the light can be shut out for good and permanently. If not, we wouldn't all be on here. That's how I feel. My story is about grief and having lost my dad at a very young age at Christmas Eve, and then two brothers afterwards. That's my story of pain. And also a failed marriage as well, but that ironically compares in comparison to the earlier losses that I had. But I just really wanted to send some word of hopefulness and love. Like I'm such a strong believer in love. I love for one another, love and peace. I have this global vision. I keep telling Hiru, I have a global vision about spreading love. And I keep wondering, how do I get from where I am to jumping up on a stage somewhere and talking about love and peace and unity? And I'm sure we'll get there, won't we, Hiru? We will get there. But it takes time. But along the way, the belief in unity and respectfulness and self-respect and love and kindness, just pure kindness and being nice to one another, it goes such a long ways. And sometimes in the world, the way it is today in its chaotic state, it's easy to forget. I think it's easy to forget that there's still peace somewhere here, and there's still light, and there's still hope. But we're all here of the same like-mindedness, so there must be room for the peace and the hope. There has to be. And I'm not willing to let that go. I'm staying with that, and I'm thriving with that somehow. So I really wanted to just share that, and to also say, it's so cool to see these people here. It's really, really cool. And to know the faces to the names of some people that I've gotten to know through the experience of the live stream. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. It truly is. And it's so comfortable for me. And I'm sitting here on my couch in East Coast Canada, and I'm thinking I could be there in LA with those ladies, because I'm not sure if you're all from LA, but I could be there, and we could all be sitting around the table having this conversation, and my heart would overflow with that. So I'm really appreciative of the offer, Hiru. And it was so unexpected. I was quite surprised, and I said, is he sending an invite to me? What's going on here? And so I said, yeah, but it's good that I go for it and go with it. So I thank you all. But mostly that's the message I wanted to share. It's holding on to the hope, and perhaps more profoundly the belief, but always, always hold on to love, because there's love somewhere and everywhere. There has to be, or the world wouldn't keep going, right? I think that's it, Hiru.
I think that's just drop the mic, Stella. Stella, drop the mic.
Very well said.
Well,
Is that okay?
Yeah, good job.
Oh, I don't know.
Thanks.
Okay.
If you want to hang out for a second, that's okay, Stella.
I
If
will
you want
hang out. Yes,
Okay.
I definitely will. It will be my honor to hang out.
Yeah, and this is maybe those first examples of putting you on that global stage, getting used to this public speaking.
Yeah. And you know how much I love that, really, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and performing under pressure on the spot. You did beautifully. May I ask, just because you shared so many, when you speak, and like when many of you speak, it is a revolution in your words. Mm-hmm. It is a outpouring of like your soul's journey through an organization that makes perfect sense. So thank you for sharing your story, but also thank you for infusing your beautiful soul and like you've got such great speech, Stella, and such kindness in your soft tone. But anyway, I want to ask you, what is your vision for like how this kind of community, this kind of niche groups, how we can come together? What has been your work with narcissism or the spirit of narcissism? How has it shown up in your life?
For years, I worked as a psychology doctor, so I saw a lot of it there, but I didn't think it had been ongoing in my personal life until I'm going to say the past 6 months. And I looked at friends and took a look at parts of my history, not so much my ex-husband so much, but friends, more so friends, who I thought had given loyalty to our friendship. And then I realized, oh my goodness, my good friend is expressing jealousy or envy. I really didn't know what to do with it. I was so caught off guard with it because I'm very selective. I'm not a big hugely group person. But I thought I could discern and select, I was confident about that. And so that I think that's where I've seen it mostly. And I've seen it in the world. It's not too hard to find. You can go to a grocery store and pretty much see it, or you can hear the conversations of others, or the body language of others, or the facial expressions. I think it's pretty much rampant, which is sad because that's a very nasty freedom to be set loose in the world. It's very nasty. There's always hope for healing from it, but only if the person intends on that, if there's intention set. So, and it's such a harmful act against kindness. It really is. But I don't believe it's going to surpass kindness in the end, because as this group, like when I discovered that Hiru was on here and I started listening to all of you, I thought there's an uprise and people are starting to understand, geez, if we all come together, what's going to look better? What's going to look brighter? What's going to win? And I guess we have to stay close to one another and support each other and hold tight until that uprise is clear, and then we pounce on it.
Yeah.
Right. I think so.
I believe so as well.
It's right there. Mm-hmm. I think the narcissism, the whole phenomenon, I think it's all, there's a fear around that now. People know they're being caught, and it's so exchanged, it's so verbally exchanged with such a freedom now and understanding. And it has become a discussion that's warranted its place. So I think the narcissist or narcissists are starting to understand, I had better be more careful about this because I'm being caught doing what I'm doing. And, and that's a good thing. And that's because of all of you and me and my experiences too. And thank God we're using our voices, even if your voice is kind of husky like mine tonight, but at least we're saying what we need to say and feeling, even more so than the words. When the feeling comes to the surface, there's no touching the emotion. There's none. No one can take that. And once we get comfortable with that emotion, I think people had better clear out of the way when that time comes, or if it has come.
Yeah, and it looks like these radical conversations spoken out loud and in full voice, even through sickness, even through darkness.
Yes.
I want to ask you one more question just while we have you on the stream and offering the space to exercise your voice. And by the way, y'all, if y'all are enjoying Stella's expertise or her powerful presentation, she's got a feature on my YouTube featuring several episodes. So please tap into the YouTube to check out Stella's expertise. But one thing that we were discovering in our last couple of conversations, Stella, was the return of normative magic to you and your baby and your life, this reorganization of magic and your womanhood. Can you share with us your walk in that?
Yes, I sure can. I would be very delighted to share that, because magic is, I think people are forgetting that magic is real or magic is beautiful. Not to mention that it's free. It's right there. If you have an imagination, create your magic, live your magic. But Hiro, you asked me a very interesting question recently about women and magic. And it made my heart stop beating for a second, because I thought of all the women who have been robbed of the opportunity to continue on in their belief of magic or their practice of magic. And I don't mean magic, professional magic. I just mean the magic that we just live. We are born into as children, I suppose. I guess that's what I'm talking about. And how sometimes the opportunity for us to carve out our own space of just imagination and feeling alive while dancing in the rain or playing with our kids or whatever. It's such a beautiful thing. And I don't think all women are getting a chance to say, it's okay for me to hold on to my magic, but it really is. And it feels so good. So I think if there's one thing I want to spread more than anything, second to love, it would be magic and the beauty of it, and how it can make the whole world a different place if we trust and believe and enjoy, have fun.
Amen.
Fun part's good too.
The fun part is important. So thank you, Stella. Stella has a book coming out, and she and I are working together. and she's got a book called The Book of Lights. So you all be sure to keep your eyes up and ears peeled for it. It's a beautiful piece of work.
Maybe I'll have the opportunity to bring a bunch to the retreat this weekend and give them to you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yes.
So,
All right, so I'm
okay.
going to open up the conversation. If you'd like to stay on the panel, Stella, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
If there's
Thank
any...
everyone. Kanisha, Haley, I just can't believe I'm talking to you. You know, it's. I have to say, it's such a beautiful thing to meet you and see your faces. Well, I've seen you once before on here with the last poet night, but to have an interaction with you, it's so beautiful. I love it. I'm really enjoying it very much.
I love it too. I love watching the episodes on YouTube featuring you. Amazing. Great job.
Well, that's nice of you to say. Thank you.
You're so incredibly wise, and like Hiro was saying, is soft spoken. And I love your vision for the future and the hope that you have found within yourself after experiencing loss and grief. And yeah, I just think it's beautiful that you can find so much beauty in the loss. What you were, you said something on the YouTube video about looking up at a bird.
Yes.
I think that was you.
Yeah, it was me, definitely.
Okay, yeah. So you were looking up at the bird, but then you saw yourself through the bird's eyes.
Yes, and the bird was looking back at me.
Oh my God, I just thought that was the most magical thing. And then that's what it is. That's what practical magic is. That's what that inner child play is. And then that, I think, is the part of us that the world is trying to crush, in whatever systems that it is, whatever narcissistic, systems that are existing, even like capitalism. That's the part, is it's like we're too busy, or we're too tired, or we're too in our own darkness to see ourselves through the bird's eyes,
That is
And
so true.
I think it's beautiful that you're tapping into this healing modality, like you said, that's free. Like, how much more anti-capitalistic can you get than tapping into the magic of that?
All you need is a bird or an imagination.
For real. And everyone has that. Everyone has it.
That's right. That is absolutely true. And if by chance I miss that, my daughter will say, "Mommy, I see my pet," and it's a crow flying in the air. So then I realize, okay, we better stop and take a look at the pet crow and have a talk or have a dance or something. So she's good at that too. I think she has something very spiritual within her. She's a real cool kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All children, that's for sure. And then that's what Hiro's poem was about too, rescuing the inner child and holding space for the parts of us that, the world tried to kill off, basically.
Yeah. When you said the word murdered, I gasped, because that's exactly what happens to the human spirit when those things happen. The spirit is murdered, and then it's trying to resurrect itself somehow. And it does with time, or in some way it attempts to. It may go forward, it may slip back, but it does. If not, I'll say it again, we would not be here. We would all be doing something different. But that word was so powerful, Hiru. Like, I thought, whoa, let me listen very, very careful, like extra careful. But I agree with you. I agree with you, Kaylee. That was incredible.
Yeah, I agree. That word stuck out to me too. I have I might, if we're doing more poetry, I have a couple that I feel like they're darker. So I usually don't try to share like the darker ones, but they have to do with what we're talking about as far as like abuse and resurrection and stuff like that.
Yes.
And it reminds me, the reason I started looking at it was after your poem, Hiru, where you were talking about that, talking about like oh, yay, later. I'll do it later. But yeah, you were talking about how these parts of us are killed off, basically.
Yeah. But not for good.
Right. That's true.
Not for good. And Kanisha, I have to say this to you, Kanisha. When I look at you, I think only of angels. From the first time I heard you speak on here, I thought she is a real life angel. That is, and last time you were wearing something white. Was it a white blouse or a dress with a high fluffy collar? It was so pretty. And I thought, she is an angel. And so I'm telling you that because it's in my heart. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Stella. Thank
You're
you.
welcome very much. It's my pleasure.
Love the exchange of love.
Yeah,
And
it's
thank you,
important.
Stella, for offering so many conversations of positive, healthy reflections. Kaylee, did you want to share your poem on alchemy? Is that what you were saying?
Darkness.
On darkness. And then I want to welcome in Gina, who is another one of our SSC community members. Welcome in, Gina. How are you?
I
Hi,
came back to
is
Gina.
the mic actually working?
Yeah, it's working. I'm going to mute.
Okay.
I just want to carve out some space for you, Gina, just so that you can introduce yourself or share anything that's on your heart and mind. And then we look forward to Kaylee's follow-up poem.
Okay, yeah, I'll be brief. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Just kind of be brave again. I've never used this before, but I just wanted to introduce myself, say hello, and express how much gratitude I have. I find it very interesting altogether just being led here with Heru and just Kaylee, Desi, Kanisha. I think it's interesting. I'm sorry, what was it? Master Alchemist? I didn't.
Stella.
Stella, listening to you. I think it's interesting what you just said because honestly, every time I look at Kanisha too, it is something very sweet. Like just
Yes.
and in my mind, I feel like she reminds me, I have a niece. I have a niece that I adore by the name of Caress. That, we were separated when she was younger for narcissistic family dynamics, respectfully, but just adore her and love her. And I don't know what it is looking at
I
her
know.
face.
I know.
Man, it's just the sweetest. And my niece is amazing. Very beautiful, very unique. But I think that's cool you said that because I'm like, wow, is she saying that? Because when I look at her, that's what I feel. That's what I get. But I appreciate you guys. I want to say thank you. I'm honored to be in this space. I think, Heru, I think you're brilliant. Something other, like just other. Like it's very. I am taken back by everything that's going on. I think it's interesting. Life is interesting, but I understand that it's an honor to be in the presence and speaking with and such amazing people, like legit, like sincerely. I appreciate you guys. I don't have any art to share tonight, but I have shared some art for me, which is incredibly personal and vulnerable. That I was being like vulnerable doing that, and just how you all have, I don't know, just how you've embraced it and uplifted me, and how much I like honestly can relate. I'm very appreciative. I'm learning a lot. There's a lot I don't know in a lot of ways, and um, it's overwhelming, but I'm very grateful. Um, and trying to commit, and I'm hoping that I can contribute in the ways that I feel like I've been touched. I don't know how, but I'm hoping that I can give back in a significant or a profound way to touch or uplift you guys and what you're doing. I don't know how, but anyway, that I'm able to learn, I want to. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. It's been an interesting couple of weeks.
Your
A
laughter
lot of
is
laughing,
beautiful.
a lot of laughing, a lot of tears.
Yeah, your laughter is beautiful. That's
You know what I
uplifting
mean?
right there. Yeah.
Confusion. Sometimes confusion, but very introspective. Just learning. I'm learning something new about myself, and I'm just really like kind of in awe how I got to this point and was I'm led here. In any case, I'm grateful, but I wanted to say hello, formally introduce myself, and just thank you. I'm very, very grateful, and I think you're all wonderful and talented people, gifted, and I'm honored. That's pretty much it.
Amen. I'm always grateful to hear your voice, Gina. And we're super thankful for your presence in the space. I do feel that you give back. I do feel that your presence is a present as a woman, as a mother, and as a Libra. You bridge so many conversations just by how you just showed up and bridged so many points of talk. So have faith that your presence really is a valuable gift to the world. And thank God that all of us have been brought together for this type of work and community.
Very appreciative.
That's
Thank you.
true.
Thank you so much.
Yes, amen.
Mhm.
So we have now a healthy panel of SSE community members. And by the way, Gina and Stella, you are more than welcome to hang out, answer questions, pose questions, or be wherever you feel comfortable. If in the comments, if you all have any questions for our SSE community or for any of these excellent women, women of God and women of spirit, women of individuality, period. If y'all got any questions for them, they are more than here to engage. We're going to be continuing the stream for about 20 to 30 more minutes just to give us a timeline of predictability. So far, things are looking very healthy. 30 people in here, panel of 7. Let me know what else y'all want to talk on.
Kaylee, are you going to sing tonight?
Hey. No,
Not
it's hard to
tonight.
sing all the time. But I want to just echo what everyone's saying about faith. Yes.
You don't? Okay.
Angel, fairy, dragon, siren, mermaid, all things. You're all encompassing. So, anyway. But I feel the same way. It's like, oh my gosh. And the more sides of yourself, it's like the more magical beings come
What
through.
are you doing, Boobers?
And then Gina is so
Why,
great.
honey, you okay? You need a cool drink?
Baby. It's so great to hear your voice, and just wanted to echo what people were saying too, of just your presence is enough. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, should I do a poem? You think another poem? Okay.
I'm gonna do
This
another one
one.
too after you, Kaylee.
Okay, cool. Okay. I was like, I don't know. Okay. So I had two that I was thinking about sharing. One was more about kind of like a near death experience and what masking that feels like. But this I feel kind of has more resonance with what we're talking about as far as like coming out of abuse cycles and what the goal is of the narcissist and how and navigating that. Okay. So, anyway, for you, it would be better if I were not here at all. If you see no presence of my passions and desires, proof of my humanity, I would wander the house as a ghost, fulfilling your every wish, but you would not need to see me. You would not need to hear me. You would not have the obligation to witness me, to be here without really being there. And so, for you, a ghost I tried to become, shrinking every thought of love, turning myself less into a person and more into a creature unrecognizable to me, but reflecting your true view. Inching closer and closer to death in all of its forms: mental anguish, spiritual destitution, physical abandonment, to be reborn as what it is you are wanting. I love you, but it is not enough. I know what you want is my death, which is what, Hiru was talking about when you're talking about aspects of yourself being murdered, you know? And the reason I wanted to share it, I think, is because I just think it's really validating to us in our phases of reclamation, right? Because we all did the cord cuttings, and you're, Jory, with your poems about coming back to life. It's like, no, I'm reclaiming that love for myself, and I'm being reborn. And Master Alchemist reclaiming magic, and Desi reclaiming physicality, just up and leaving the house, And so, um, and and that's the thing too is where was it? it's they I just feel like the point is like a loss of ourselves. And so us finding ourselves, that is where the power is, you know. And I wanted to echo what Hiru said, is that we can find ourselves in safe community because you can because it's important to be seen, right? You can like find yourself and then go about space, but you're still like a ghost if you've been unseen for so long existing, right? It's like I'm existing as an invisible presence. And so the part that's healing is showing yourself to people and them seeing you actually and who you are. And then that allows for you to reclaim those parts of yourself that you thought had disappeared. So it's just magical being, yeah, right. Sorry, I was reading a comment. I'm so grateful that you're here around everyone who's surviving that. But yeah, it's important to be seen. Otherwise, we're still a ghost. So
It's true. I wanted to say, Kaylee, that I think it was so poignant that you said, you know, you're just existing as a ghost because it is that way when you're living with those types of people, right? Like you're just existing at this point. You're not even connecting with who you are, you know, not just I mean, I even look different physically. I gained so much weight. And actually, my best friend said, I am concerned about this relationship because your appearance has changed so drastically at one point. And I was like, what do you mean? What are you even talking about? Girl, I'm just eating. Leave me alone, you know? But, you lose who you are physically and emotionally and spiritually, and you are just like existing, trying to survive this chaos. And it takes so much. And so I just want to thank you for sharing all of that. I think it's just really beautiful that you're able to put that to words and that you're able to share that with us. And I want to thank you. And I wanted to thank Stella too earlier, but I didn't want to talk over people because I'm really bad about that. So I'm trying, it's like a conscious effort. But um, anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
thank you, Desi. That means a lot because you know more than it, you know, you know. And so, yeah, I think that's the point though, is that they want to shape us into what they see of us instead of who we are, or they want to turn us into something that they want to validate the way that they treat us, you know. So whatever that means, whatever would make it to where they would feel valid in treating us the way that they do, it needs to be justified because people don't do things that they feel are morally wrong. Like they they justify it, you know? So if someone is harming another person, they have to figure out a way in their head to make it um, reasonable.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, sorry, Stella. I just want and well, you know this better than I do. I think that's part of why they dehumanize us the way that they do. I'm sorry, Stella, go ahead, please.
No, I was going to say I completely agree with what Kaylee was saying. Mm. And I think the unification of people of like-mindedness, and in this case of us women, and Hiru, a fine man, that's that's a wonderful place to travel through the I don't want to say the healing experience, through the journey, because it's changing. A lot of healing has been done. Isn't that true? And healing continues, of course. But I think that there's no stopping a journey once it has started if people are coming together in power and in truth and honesty. I don't think that can be stopped. No, I'm committed to it anyway. So
Definitely. Someone's asking, what's the topic? And so we're having kind of like a panel discussion on creative ways of releasing the self from narcissistic abuse, sharing poetry, creative works, and conversations on not just survival, but transmutation, not just healing, but moving forward. You know what I mean? Not just moving on, but moving forward. And you're watching a panel and a group of community members, a part of a school called Safe Space Elevation, with a couple of guests. And if you would like to share some poetry as well, you're welcome to join. I'd love to add additional conversation. I'm very happy and proud and love that this conversation can be taken outside of gender and focused on spirits. Do you know what I mean? So that you can be loved again, and so that I can be loved again, and so that we can find partnership again outside from, and so that toxic, crazy, negative, nasty male culture can be identified as so, and then we can all just kind of like put a pin in it. Okay, I love that face. Put a pin in it because we've been so like accustomed and trained on spotting narcissistic behavior, and now the least I want is for us to have a support group, and still talking about narcissistic behavior. But who gives a fuck? I'm just kidding. But I'm really happy that we're proficient in spotting this type of spirit, this type of behavior and personality, and how it impacts the reality. What are y'all thoughts? And I'd love to hear from you as well, Jory.
I was over here writing up. You guys just got me in like a creative space right now.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. I feel like that's what we're doing, you know what I mean? Like, what is happening? A healing is happening.
On the Scorpio full moon, I did a cord cutting from my mom, and what I realized, because to go off of what you were saying, Hiru, as far as like the spirit of narcissism not being gendered, I feel like your poem too was speaking about a mothering type of. Okay, so anyways, with my mom, and her type of oppression, what she didn't enjoy about me was my femininity. And she, in order to survive in the world that she grew up in, did take on a performance of masculinity, right? And so I do think that it corrupts the spirit in a sense, the way that she took it on. But it was so interesting in my cord cutting I did with her, the way the wax melted. It was like reaching out towards me, but it also looked it basically like looked like a symbol of the patriarchy kind of. And I just thought it was so funny because that's what I was releasing myself from her, was her displeasure with the way that I expressed my femininity, which you talk about on the live a lot with people healing their mother wounds. And so I just thought I just wanted to kind of affirm your channel in that moment, because it's just so crazy how you can bring it back to, it's not gender, it's not these wars that are so polarizing within the planet. It's literally just the spirit of something, and it affects everyone on every level of society. It doesn't matter where. And so I just think that's a beautiful, important conversation. And I want to thank you for holding that.
Yes, sweetheart. I'm grateful. And I always just offered additionally after we've had a chance to healthily unpack from our perspectives. Because fucking A, I want to, saying why I order to these narcissistic men in y'all lives. I'm with the shits. And then we just want to, gently land on the other side with solution. And so I'm very, very grateful to be surrounded by like hearts and like minds oriented towards the future. So we got people wanting to come on in. You want to come on down to my little show here. We got a spiritual show of love and light. Alrighty, so I'm going to invite in Random Flower. Random Flower 8, thank you so much for your support during the stream, for your conversation and compliment of the panelists and of the conversations that we've been hosting. How's everybody in the comments enjoying the space, enjoying the topics? Do you all have any specific conversations you want to take this collective conversation towards? We're going to be streaming for the next 15 minutes. And make sure to follow these ladies: Spirit of Love, Jory D, Asteria, DC Philly, Master Alchemist, and our beautiful, beautiful Je ne sais quoi. I'm inviting in Random Flower here, Random Flower 8.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm too nervous. I
It's
just
all
want
good.
to say, like, it's so beautiful, like, how we just, like, all kind of found each other. Like, literally, like, I just started, like, following Huru like, a few weeks ago, and I'm like, this is just so beautiful that we can be able to come together and talk about this type of stuff openly, you know? Like, because I feel like it's like kind of shunned upon to be open about this, to be like, to take a stand and be like, you know what? I don't want to be treated like shit. Like, I won't take your shit, you know? Like, but yeah, I just want to say all the beautiful ladies and who that like y'all are so strong, and like it's just beautiful to be able to hear y'all talk about all this stuff. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, Random Flower. She sounds like Lene, doesn't she? The spirit of that princess power. Random Flower, I'm so grateful that you have the courage and the bravery and the self-possession, the personal integrity to come on this stream and say hello. And I'm so proud of you, especially as a woman and a young person, to stand your ground and not take that shit and be guided spiritually towards communities and spaces that you can talk that shit on. How can you be supported or helped through community or as the person you are? What do you need at this time and at your age? What is your life like?
Honestly, I don't feel like I need anything. I just like I feel like I can contribute to the conversation. I just got like nervous at first. But like everyone just had really good points, and I just felt like I could have contributed. But yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So if you want to hang out and contribute at your pace, Random Flower, that'd be so great. I'm really happy that you're here. So we got like an entire panel of, I would say, God's evolution. We got young, we got mature, we got male, we got female, the arcs and the spectrums of the soul. In this last 10 minutes, does the chat have any questions for our panelists or for our SSE community members? Or if you guys have any questions about the community or about healing, about poetry, we got some experts here. You got it, Kaylee.
I'm pretty sure you were going to do another poem and Kay is going to do another poem. So I think we need to shut the fuck up so you guys can share your
Yes, Kaylee.
I'm with the shutting of the fuck up. That's what I'm trying to do.
Hugh, you're not wiggling out of this. I mean, do what you
I
want,
literally just
but
wrote one. I'm gonna share the one I just wrote too.
hell yeah.
Who's sharing first? Hold up, I'm confused because you're muted. Or- Were you?
Serious.
What'd you say? I'm sorry. It's hard. It might be glitching out again. I cannot hear what she said. Kaylee, did you hear what she said?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so who's going first?
Oh, I just asked who's going first. I thought you were gonna share the one you just wrote right now.
Wait, me. I was gonna share and then I was gonna share mine.
Okay. I'll share mine first, and then okay. Since we're on the topic of all these things, I decided to I'm going to share one that I wrote. It was either the end of high school or the beginning of college. It's called If You Give My Mom Some Money. Okay? If you give my mom some money, she is going to ask for more. She'll buy what she doesn't need and pass out on the floor. She'll make it seem a little when it really is a lot and say she'll pay you back unless you put her on the spot. When you go to ask her for your money, she will ask for your money too. You'll look around confused and won't know what to do. Oh, dearest mother, no more money for you. Thank you, thank you.
What was the closing line? It was so strong. What was the end
Oh,
line?
dearest mother, no more money for you. I like to cut my mom off quite a few times. You know.
Yeah, I could clap like a tambourine, Kaylee. Same.
Thank you so much for verbalizing it and speaking it out because that's such a deep thing for a child to hold and to witness and to be conscious of and aware. And so, oof, I had chills up and down my spine through that whole thing. And I just think that I want to point out too that it has to do with your words because obviously I love all of these astral journeys that you take us on in your poetry. You know that I'm like a simp for that, but this grounded thing of you just speaking was in the same realm spiritually. I had chills up and down my spine. You know, you're so impactful and your story is so important and I just love I love you. Sorry.
Thank you.
I wanted to say too that like I think I resonate with that so much, and I resonate obviously, I resonated with that really hard, and I think that you actually can make that a very spiritual thing if you replace the word money with my empathy, my attention, my childhood, my energy,
Amen.
my being, right? Like you're done.
Yes.
I'm done pouring into the person who should have, been pouring into me and instead just takes and takes and takes, right? And so I just want to really applaud you for taking those steps and saying those things out loud. I think it's just so important for us to heal, you know? What was that say?
Absolutely.
Super beautiful. And I empathize with that as a man who has a mother bond, and I've always found it hard to even speak. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, laterally ill of my mother and our history, and even with the harder things that I've experienced. For me, she's the sweetest soul ever, and I will never speak ill of my mother, even though I was harmed, even though I was wounded and or abandoned and or et cetera, et cetera. And I'm so proud of you, Kanisha, because I know what a strong, let's say, cord cutting this poem just is. It's like a cord cutting of the mind. You know what I'm saying? The subconscious cord cutting of the child that doesn't want to abandon but knows the damn truth. Good job.
Yes. I had that same feeling. Oddly enough, I was fine. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna read this poem. As soon as I started reading, I was like, do I want to talk ill of my mother in front of these people? Oh God, I was like, this is my story. This is mine.
Am I in trouble now? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly. So we hold each other all as starseeds or whatever, as individuals that we are not in trouble for articulating our stories, especially in safe spaces and through integrity and honor. It's all good. No debt. No debt. Beautiful, Kate. Thank you for sharing. You want to go for it, Jory? I'm over here calling everybody out. Look, I'm not going. All right. So whoever who
No,
want to go can go,
I'll
because
go.
I ain't got nothing for y'all.
It's not done yet, but I'll go. So it doesn't really have much to do. I mean, it probably does because, I don't know, we'll just say it. So it goes, hit different. The way I walk, I glide to the tune of my own rhythm, my own rhythmic beat. The way my hips sway side to side, releasing a cosmic wave of energy, captivating each gaze, as if I'm floating in air. I hit different. The way I talk is like a sweet whisper in the wind that brushes by with a warm kiss on your cheek. Subtle but seductive whisper that leaves you in a daze. I hit different. The way my energy heals as I flow with one smile, one conversation with my time. Hit different. That's all I got so far.
I needed as a song immediately. Immediately.
That SZA song obviously is reminding me, but you do hit different. You really do, and I am proud to reflect and applaud that. And I'm grateful that you can stand in that truth as well. You absolutely hit different, and I like that. Um, I like that this panel tonight is kind of like a safe space to rebirth safely. It's like we got a little hospital ward here, and little babies are like, okay, this is who I am. This is who I am. Good, good. We are going to close the panel in a couple of minutes. My panelists, do y'all have any final statements for this work or for this conversation? Do you have any statements for one another's work and conversations?
I just want to say, appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys are beautiful. You so beautifully. I feel everyone y'all energy, and it's warm. Thank
Yes.
you for giving me the space to show up. Um, I've been in like a what is that? Like a blank? No, like a writer's block lately. Being able to be in this space, just wrote this poem, so like like creativity and having like that space to be creative is like so important to me. So I just want to express that gratitude to each and every one of you guys for even, everybody that's, in the comments. Like I appreciate you guys too for the love and the feedback. It's well appreciated. And I'm in a space right now where it's well received.
And thank you to you as well, Jurady, and to everyone. For me, I'm just sitting here in awe. I feel like I'm awestruck with a group of movie stars or something. It's a very interesting feeling. But I want to thank you sincerely for sharing yourselves with me and allowing me the opportunity to share my truth. And I feel kind of proud of myself that I didn't turn away from the opportunity because I was just like that close. And I said, no way, I'm not doing that. So here I am with a group of lovely people, and I'm feeling gratitude 100%. Thanks.
I I'm glad that you were here, Stella, and I was really uh, just so touched by your story and obviously relate to that in so many ways too. So I'm thankful for you, and I'm thankful for everybody who's been on the panel, to kind of just, I hate to echo what Jory said, but I'm so thankful to be in community with such strong and beautiful people, which with such, God, I don't even know the word that I'm looking for, but it's there's such a unique type of strength that is required to be vulnerable in community and publicly. And, I'm thankful for you, and I'm thankful for all of you for your rawness and for your receptiveness and your understanding. And, I just think you're all so amazing and beautiful. And thank you, Haru, for creating a community that you have, obviously, and for helping me for being the guy who's like, hey girl, you're driving right in the middle of the storm right now. And I'm like, you know, what are you talking about? What storm? Like, this is a sprinkle. It's a baby sprinkle. It's a whole ass Sharknado around me, right? So anyway, so thank you for being you, and thank you for being the kind of man who can support all of this. And I just love you all so much. And I'm happy that I know you. And that's all.
I'm just realizing, guys, I've never used this before, but I figured out the mic button on here, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you again. I'm still really learning how to navigate this. I'm super private. I don't really invite people in a lot on social media, just going through changes. But what I can say is, it was a joy. I say gratitude a lot because I am very grateful, but listening to you guys tonight was a joy. So thank you. You're super talented. Jory, your mind and your delivery is like, you're going to drive some things home. But Kanisha, you're just very sweet, very clever. Last poem about your mom was very clever. Kaylee, I think you're brilliant. Desi, I think you're so brave. Stella, I think you have a beautiful, uplifting way of speaking hope and life. When you talk, that came across to me. And I don't know, it says Random Flower 8. I think you're also brave, and if you're on here, because I this is all very new to me too, and it's interesting. I really am trying to learn and give back again in some sort of. I hope I can be as uplifting and inspiring as you guys have been to me this far. But thank you. It was my joy. I wanted to say that it was a joy listening to your art tonight. That's it.
Hi, Gina. I'm so glad you came on. I love your voice. Thank you for sharing your voice and your kind reflections. And I don't know if you could hear me earlier, but your presence is enough, but also you're brilliant. And so I appreciate that you feel safe enough here to share your brilliance with us and to let us see you and experience you and your depth and your creativity. And I just want to echo the same thing. I'm so inspired by everyone here, and I'm so grateful for you guys holding space for me and my art and my fucking ramblings trying to come down to this planet and just everything. I love you guys so much. I love you guys so
That's
much.
so
And
cool.
thank you, Stella. You're so cute. You're so cute. And Desi, thank you for sharing your story, and Spirit, your story, and well, everyone's stories. Everyone's stories are so inspiring because we can find ourselves in them and we can find our hope. And so, yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for holding me too.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, it was beautiful to hear everyone and to see how y'all articulate your creativity differently. I don't know everyone's names, so I apologize, but girl, how do you pronounce that? I don't know how to pronounce it, but the girl with the raps, you ate that up. That was
Jory
really
D.
Jordy, you did so good. Like you got that talent for real. Like, and everyone here, like y'all have all been through stuff. We've all been through stuff, and to be able to have this safe space to talk about it and articulate on it is a real blessing. So I just want to say thank you, thank you.
Did you go, Kanisha? Not yet.
No, I did not go. Thank you guys so much. I've okay. Sorry, I'm like glitching out. It was a long day today. I'm like at the end of my energy. But I love all y'all so much. All the poems that were shared, all the stories that were shared. It means a lot to me. I've already said so many times to be a part of Ken. It brings out these different aspects of me that I almost forget about, I almost sort of forget to let out. Just like if I don't have a reason to like write a poem or think about my journey that I've been through and how much progress I've made, it's definitely different when I'm around so many people and I resonate with so much of it, and then I'm connecting with all these different parts of myself, and then I'm expressing myself on top of that. Absolutely love it. So, Haru, again, thank you for this community and all of you beautiful, beautiful souls. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being so amazing in and of yourselves and for being so nice to me. I grew up being bullied and made fun of a lot, and so it's just different. It's different, and I love it. Thank you.
They're beautiful. Stay beautiful.
You deserve the love, girl. You deserve the love. Fuck those other bitches.
All right, y'all. So we're closing out this panel. I will post this as a review on my YouTube on like our SSE channels. My final statements. You guys know this is my life work to create this, and yeah, I will get emotional if I go too deep. But to see it on so consistently in our live streams, in the support groups, in the school, the comments, and to hear so much synergy and love for spirit, for God, and for your higher selves, for truth, for healing. This is amazing. It's beautiful. And for people to be finding grace and entertainment, community in these types of conversations. Again, we are popularizing the meek. You know what I'm saying? We are making it cool and fun to be kind. Goodness gracious. And so thank y'all for being a part of this work and creating, you know what I'm saying, safety. And look, I don't give a fuck because I you know what I'm saying, I will pass. So I'm thankful for all of y'all and your unique and feminine power and bravery, feminine leadership, feminine flexibility. That is God. Word up. So I look forward to seeing this on the YouTube, and thank y'all for joining. For those who had conversation in the chat, such as Afro, I look forward to you joining us on next Friday, and other voices such as Janie. I want to say thank you to Gina, and thank you, Random Flower. Thank you for joining us. Good job on being brave. To Gina, Stella, and Random Flower. Thank you, Desi, for your leadership, for your unique voice and humor, and for your beauty and power and presence. Thank you, Kanisha, for your unique personality, your unique intelligence too. And I look forward to, and I mean that as a deep compliment, and I look forward to your leadership in the support groups around creative works. And I hope that this is a good exercise. Thank you, Stella, for being so amazingly sweet and beautiful and kind. And your spirit is so royal. You have a very royal soul. Jory D, you also have a royal soul, as you know, ancient and royal and deserving and rich and beautiful and powerful. I would say strong, but I prefer the word decided. You are somebody who seems very focused, although maybe it doesn't look like it in your life. It sounds like your soul is very focused. So keep going. I hope that you come back here whenever you want. And last but never least, our sweet Kaylee, a beautiful, powerful, intelligent, and alchemical Kaylee. You've come such a long way, and you really show such great grace and intelligence and power and strength. I'm very grateful to be in community with you and to be on a team with you as well. So thank y'all for this day. Man, we done had a full day. We was drinking cocktails at the beach, and now we're crying by the motherfucking fireside. Excuse my language for anyone that's babies that's watching the show. I thank y'all for joining. Please turn your notifications on for the next stream. We'll be doing this again next Friday. If you have any curiosities about being a part of this group or being a part of a group and joining us on the panel, then you can sign up at the link in my bio. All right, family. I'll see y'all later. Thank you. I'm grabbing your kisses. I'm grabbing your kisses. Give me all the kisses. Give me all the kisses. Yeah. All right. All right, cutie pies. I'll see y'all later. Cheers, Joey. Bye-bye, Kay. All righty, Random Flower. I look forward to meeting you. Sweet girl, I see it. I see you, goddess. And Master Alchemist. Love to you and your daughter. Have a good night. All right, stream. All right, chat. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank y'all for engaging in the conversations, engaging in the healing. I hope that you enjoyed this experience. We'll be doing this often, and this is a part of the community engagement that I organize for SSE. First, it is these digital events, and soon we will have in-person events, and this is all leading towards our event, towards our retreat, and hopefully, ideally, a brick and mortar soon. A personal reading for jewelry, yeah, you can sign up on my website, Goddess. You can always use discount code SAFESPACE24. Or if you want a quick live stream reading, I'll be doing divination again on Sunday. Please be sure to follow the ladies that were so brave to show themselves and share their stories, such as Master Alchemist Truth here, our beautiful Stella, as well as Kaylee and Kanisha and Desiree, and Random Flower, as well as Jory D, and support. Thank y'all for supporting this conversation through conversation, especially if we look at the idea that we've been harmed through conversation. This is how we gain the healing and the reclamation. All right, y'all. I appreciate you, and I look forward to our next go around. Have a beautiful night, and you'll see this recap on my YouTube. No backup pages, all right? So watch out for scammers. And I'll see you Sunday. My honor. My honor. Let me play some. Tucking you in bed. All right, now you hang up. No, you hang up. Have a great night, Nelly. Autism awareness. Go autism. See, I think y'all seeing a lot more sides to me now, huh? I hope you really believe me. All right, love you.